And more humid with a few showers around, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
75 and sunny right now in Hartford. Dow is up 609 points this afternoon. The Nasdaq's up 755. And the S&P is up 127 points. It's over in Atlanta, World Cup. Bit of an upset, if you will. A 0-0 game between Cabo Verde and Spain. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread yard work, with a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
Hi, I'm Tom Tierney, owner of the Green Cremation, Connecticut's only water cremation facility. Our process uses a gentle, water-based alternative to flame, with no smoke, no fire, and no harmful emissions. It uses up to 90% less energy than traditional cremation and produces zero air pollution. We're proud to offer families a compassionate, earth-friendly way to honor a loved one. Visit thegreencremation.com to learn more or pre-plan today. Visit thegreencremation.com.
Whittlesey Accounting Advisory Technology wants you to think about golf. Travelers Championship opening day is in just 7 days.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by LendSeek.
Youth sports can turn your kids into a winner. Don't let them make a loser out of the family budget.
Families spend about $40 billion annually in youth sports.
Financial planner Ed Jertson says if you commit to a summer sport, make sure the family spending plan can absorb all of the expenses and fees, so you can avoid debt.
Foregoing future savings to retirement in order to meet these things.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
If you've been injured in an accident, don't let the insurance company decide how much you're worth. At Carter Mario Law Firm, you're more than just a client and more than just a quick settlement. When you get Carter, we'll help you get more. More experience, more attention, and more accessibility. The Carter Mario Law Firm's zero-fee warranty means you pay nothing unless we win. Visit GetCarter.com or call 877-GET-CARTER.
Get up to $1,500 off your spring project with DeGiorgi. For over 93 years, DeGiorgi has been Connecticut's trusted partner for all things home improvement. Right now, take advantage of the Zero Worry Sale. Zero money down, zero interest, and zero payments until 2028. Go to DeGiorgiInc.com now to get the DeGiorgi Advantage.
Our family serving your family. DeGiorgi.
As dads, it's our job to capture as many memories with our kids as possible. It's also our job to embarrass them, and if we're lucky, we get to do both. That's why I'm thankful my son created Legacy Box, the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos.
And I'll never recover from the time you showed up to my middle school dance to disco in front of everyone. Thanks, Dad. But he's right. Simply fill your Legacy Box with your old VHS, camcorder tapes, film reels, and photos, and we'll do the rest.
And in just a couple of weeks, you'll get your originals back, along with a DVD, thumb drive, or cloud delivery. Stuff that even an old man like me can figure out.
Plus, for a limited time, we're offering a special Father's Day sale.
Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get
an incredible deal. Buy today to take advantage of this limited offer. Go to legacybox.com/radio
to get started and save.
legacybox.com/radio.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up loud. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true. Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio. Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio, right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! I don't know how I feel about this Monday, but I'm still happy to be here. Let's go. What's going on, all you scallywags, nutmeggers, conversationalists across the fruited plain, plus you haters? It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. A wonderful weekend was had by all. I want to talk about at some point, give high praise to the Ferraro family in Bristol this weekend. We talked their ears off, Roseanne and I, as we went to have dinner with them over the weekend. It was a blast. We had a lot of fun. I have Mama Ferraro. I want to tell you that I have the sausage, meatball, and the ziti sitting right behind me that I'm having for lunch. That we had for dinner the other night, and I'm not even through. I ate a lot of it, and that one plate you gave me, or that one leftover you gave me, is absolutely fine. And if I can be so bold, I'm eating it cold. Because unlike a lot of you other weirdos who always have to have everything hot, I like a cold Italian dish. I do. I eat cold pizza. It's one of my favorite things to eat. Roland is probably thinking I'm some sick son of a gun, but okay, that's fine. I can eat it cold. It's like having a midnight snack. So I want to thank and David and his dad, David, and his mother, who I will never refer to by her first name. She is nothing more and nothing less than Mama Ferraro. She is going to help me turn the word garbage into garbaggio.
Or, as we say in Italian, garbaggio.
That's right. We're going to make that official. Official garbaggio. That's going to happen. Trust me. I'm going to make the Italians adopt it. I'm going to ask them and say, come on. We can get it done. We can get it done. Make it the official Italian word for garbage.
Or, as we say in Italian, garbaggio.
That's right. This sounds beautiful. I'll talk about dinner with them in a little bit. Also, I want to talk about the Polish Fest or Festival in New Britain. That was an interesting I've been to so many other. I've been to Italian festivals. I've been to I'm trying to think of any one. Man, it's usually Italian. I've been to one Irish festival, but does St. Patrick's Day count? I don't know. I don't know if it counts. Technically, I was at a St. Patrick's Day parade. Technically, that is an Irish festival of sorts. This was the first Polish one I'd ever gone to, and it was fun. It was great to see everyone out there. We saw Ryan Fazio. We saw Jonathan DeBarros. Saw some other folks out there, just people who are listeners of the show. We got to see Isabel Rude's folks, who spotted us in the crowd, which is, of course, easy to do. I'm a 6'3" black guy at a Polish fest. I'm a sore thumb in that environment. So, and we went and had some kielbasa, some stuffed cabbage, as well as what else? What was the last pierogies we had? And something else. I feel like there was something else that we did. Oh, we had Polish spring water. That's what we had. And we couldn't, because there was a Polish supermarket there. It's heavily Polish. I mean, I'm sure you all know. But I'm just experiencing it for the first time. So indulge me a little bit as I'm sort of recreating my experience. I've seen old Russian neighborhoods. I saw one in New Jersey back in the day. But I've never been to a real Polish neighborhood like this, where the storefronts were all Polish. We had the Polmart that was there, another Polish grocery store. We had kielbasa, yes. And so we walked in, and we weren't sure if the refrigerator inside this one store had alcoholic beverages or there was water. We were scared to death, Roseanne and I, because nothing was in English. So we had to walk through the aisles of this store trying to find someone who would tell us what the drink was. And then finally, Roseanne went on Grok and found out we had spring water. It was harrowing for a little while. Matt says, love the Polish market in New Britain. It was fun. It was. And we got to see a lot of the traditional dances there as well, a lot of the traditional garb. It was a lot of fun and very interesting. I enjoyed every bit of it. Hot is all get out, but it was beautiful to be there. So thank you guys for putting it together. It was really, really fun. And I'm going to do more of it. In fact, I've got a whole segment I want to dedicate to the businesses here in Connecticut. It is called Taking Care of Business with Reese on the Radio. Scott over at Harvest Bakery mentioned it. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, even with the Hartford Chamber of Commerce. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down with him, but he had promised that he would be on the show. We had him as a guest on the show during the holiday store, but we haven't had him here yet in the studio. And I promised him that we would sit down and start having a conversation. I think I'm also, who else was I? I think Harding, Senator Harding and I were also in a conversation and got lost in the sauce with all of this, election coming up. And if it wasn't Harding, it was someone. Oh, no. Henry Martin. I apologize. It was Henry Martin, Senator Martin. And I had a conversation a couple of months back about getting businesses on the show. I want to do something a little different. It's no offense to Senator Martin. For me, I find that a little lame and boring. Hear me out. The only way I'm going to get the experience of these businesses is to be out there on the weekends, in the mornings, and just do that on my show, to feel Connecticut with my own fingers. So this taking care of business thing, I'm going to go down, and you may be chosen, folks. I am literally going to just go randomly to a small business when we're out. When Roseanne wants to go to a farmer's market, or Roseanne wants to do, shop at an antique shop, I'm just going to grab the phone and start recording. And I'm just going to post it. I'm going to say, hey, we're at, this bric-a-brac shop on, in New London. And we're just going to put the video together and we're going to put it out there because you folks who have been to these places have made a lot of these videos go viral. By the way, we'll talk about that later. And you have your own experiences at these locations, and it's an opportunity to give these folks some shine. So we'll do it that way. And I'll explain it as it goes on. Let me see. Reese, I'm inviting you and Roseanne to the Taste of Caribbean on the Riverfront Plaza, downtown Hartford on August 8th. We are there, Reggae Don, without a doubt. And we'd love to go there. And if you're performing, that's even better. Elaine says that I'm glad you enjoyed the Polish experience. I enjoy everything as much as I can. Like, if I can get there, I'm going to make the most of it. And it was a great opportunity. Thank you so much, Elaine, for that as well. Martin Rosal, I know I'm probably butchering that, well known for their kielbasa. I did see a lot of people wearing their T-shirts, Lori. I saw that a lot. And I almost purchased this T-shirt. I am a fiend when the T-shirts come around. If I'm walking someplace, that's it. But I got to be honest, I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't buy them at the Polish Fest. I don't mean this in any offense. It just would have seemed odd if I would have worn a shirt that says, "Kiss me, I'm Polish." I feel like that would be false advertising. A lot of them were pro and identifiers of the Polish community, and I kept contemplating. I was like, can I pull that one off? I don't know. That seems unfair. I don't know why I would wear that one. The red, and they were very vibrant red colors. It seemed like everyone was wearing red and white, and that was really, really cool. So I enjoyed it. I will, whoever's having the festival, we'll go to them. in a heartbeat, would definitely know there. So, Donald, thank you for the invite. You can expect us to be there. So, speaking of festival, there was one in D.C., and we're going to talk about this at length tomorrow because I brought it up on Friday about the Great American State Fair happening in Washington, D.C. Many of you have been asking me about that over the weekend. I'll talk a little more about it today, but I'll have more to share with you tomorrow. Little appointment radio for you. And the festival that's going on in Washington, D.C., there's a lot of low-hanging fruit here for me to make fun of people. I'm not trying to. The thing that I don't understand are people who do not understand what happened at the South Lawn of the White House, who keep calling this horrible spectacle, embarrassment, and other things. I have to say to you, you don't really get this. And it's shameful that you don't. Many of you, I think, are grasping at straws so that you can criticize this president or America as it stands. The president's job is to bring spectacle and pageantry and to celebrate the average man and woman and the things that they appreciate. They are the movers and the shakers. They are the engine that moves all of this, not the complainers. The people who work and live make everything go here. Sometimes you forget them. Sometimes you don't see them. You should. You should be remotely curious about what they do and also as curious about the things they care about, especially if you are in the business of talking about or are employed in an area that elects individuals or talks about policy and politics. You should be caring most about the engine that drives those politics, and that is the people, even those you ardently disagree with. See, when you were looking at the lights and looking at the stage, you missed the people. But then again, that's the problem. In the news media, we don't see people. We see numbers. We see labels. We don't even care about what they think. We just care about what they should think. And when they don't, they're dismissed a second time. Far worse, they're labeled, marginalized, demonized even. Basket full of deplorables. When I looked at that event, the UFC event, I don't like UFC, by the way, not a fan, and that's nothing against the people who love it. I'm an old boxing guy, and I know boxing is dead. I've accepted that and moved on. But the UFC thing, I don't know. I wanted to find some interest in it, and I just went, okay. I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to force myself to enjoy it. If I was a drinking guy, I could see beat the hell out of them. Yeah, it's something about that. It's just not my thing anymore. Again, not a criticism for those who love it. I get that people do. But it's not mine. It's not my bag. But I know that it is, just like NASCAR. Not my bag. But a lot of people love it. And because they do, I respect it. I got to respect it. If it didn't have any fandom, I'd be like, that's a waste of time. WNBA, anybody? Now, so I watched that, and I look at it from a lens of, again, I got no horse in this race. I understand the president is putting on a spectacle. He's trying to do something original. And let's be honest, folks, it was. It was original. Even if you don't like it, it was. You would have never dreamed that that would happen at the White House, would you? No. So it was original. Take your ridiculous feelings out of it and just say, was it spectacle? Yep. But what is the White House? What is it? It's a symbol. What is it a symbol of? You and me. Us. Not the president. No, not the people who occupy it. We put them there. That's our house. That's right. That's what it is. And he invited people into our house to go see something that they cared about. And that's the UFC fight. That's it. Show's over. Everybody goes home. The stage comes down. Business as usual. It's one day. Just it. One day. Next year, everyone's going to have, they probably would have forget about it. They won't even remember it. Many people didn't even watch it. But what exactly did they get bent out of shape? What did they get bent out of shape for? One guy calling Michelle Obama a man? That's what they dragged from this? If that's all you got from this event, you weren't paying attention. Or you're desperate. And I think it's the latter. When we come back, I want to explain to you the difference between this administration when it comes to spectacle versus the administration many on the left love and adore, or so they claim. You're missing something very important, which was why I said every man, the average schmo, the mover, the shaker, the engine that makes this country go are the people that you've been ignoring. And you should pay attention to them. And I got the breakdown of it right here. You don't want to miss it when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
She gardens, cooks, and sews. She's running for town council, and she was doing it all in pain she couldn't ignore anymore.
I had 3 muscle tears in my right arm and 1 in my left arm. I'm a quilter, and I could not hold the material up in the air because I couldn't lift my arms above my shoulders without severe pain.
Surgery? Not this busy lady. Susan booked a free consultation with QC Kinetics. Her customized regenerative treatment plan finally calmed the pain in her shoulders.
I am able to now go back to quilting 100%, and every once in a while I think, oh wait, that didn't even hurt.
The QC Kinetics treatments had given her shoulders new life.
It was like a new shoulder had been put in. It's your own body healing your body. No foreign anything.
The future of joint pain relief. It's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Schedule your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 2:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Bob Cox will have the forecast details coming up. Measles has reared its head in Connecticut. The State Department of Public Health says the patient is an adult from Hartford County. DPH says presently there have been 2,073 cases of measles in the U.S. thus far, and that number will eclipse, or is expected to eclipse, last year's number of 2,288 cases. U.S. and Iran have reached an initial agreement that would extend their ceasefire and lead to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. However, significant challenges remain to ending the war, including whether Israel will continue its offensive in Lebanon. State Board of Regents for Higher Education is selecting a firm to conduct what it's calling a comprehensive independent review of former Chancellor John Maduco. Grand River Solutions will be leading that investigation. Maduco stepped down earlier this spring amid allegations of sexual harassment. GRS will look into the board's response to the matter, along with procedures and practices, and whether any patterns of conduct still exist. State police investigating what was called a suspicious incident in Burlington today. No details have been released. CSP and local fire were in the area of Stanwich Lane. No word on what they were investigating. Several of the skydivers who were killed when their plane crashed moments before taking off from a Missouri airfield were experienced jumpers, that according to investigators and officials there. Authorities say the pilot and 11 passengers died in that crash Sunday in Butler, Missouri. And Cabo Verde pulled off a stunning upset in its World Cup debut by shutting out heavily favored Spain. An impressive performance by 40-year-old goalkeeper Vizina helped Cabo Verde play one of the favorites to win the tournament in a 0-0 draw. Final score, the biggest shock of the tournament thus far. WTIC News Time is 2:32. Here's Bob with the forecast.
Some real nice weather out there this afternoon with plenty of sunshine and northwest breeze. Dew points dropping into the upper 40s and low 50s, so nice low humidity. And some places will touch 80, but a lot of places will stay a little below that today. Tonight it's clear and comfortable. Lows will drop into the 50s. Sunshine tomorrow, plenty of it. Low humidity remains in place, the high around 80 tomorrow afternoon. Clear to partly cloudy Tuesday night, lows in the 50s. And then partly sunny Wednesday, maybe a shower, highs in the low 80s. Thursday will be partly to mostly cloudy, warm and more humid with a few showers around, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network, 84 eastbound. Backups between exits 13 and 15 with a vehicle fire in the right lane. Also, eastbound on 84 in Cheshire between exits 28 and 30. Left and center lanes taken out due to a two-vehicle crash. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
With 12 locations across Connecticut, Columbia Dental is big enough to be called a dental chain, but small enough to stay personal. Call 866-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com today.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, back. Reese on the radio here. Last segment I was talking about the difference between this White House when it comes to spectacle versus administrations before it. And I know that a lot of people went to that whole transgender topless thing that happened on the South Lawn during the month of June under the Biden administration. I know people ran to that. Low-hanging fruit, without a doubt. Yes, and it was deplorable, without a doubt. I agree. But I want you to look at other things in all of this. Why Trump's White House events hit different, patriotic, exceptional, and made for average Americans. They project unapologetic strength and scale instead of managed restraint. Trump's Salute to America events and the current Freedom 250 celebrations put Abrams tanks on displays. They flew every military branch's aircraft in formation and lit up the National Mall with record fireworks. This isn't declaration. It tells the world and our own people that American power and ingenuity are unmatched. Obama and Biden's 4th of July events were mostly South Lawn barbecues for military families with standard fireworks. And that's fine for a neighborhood cookout, but not the same statement of national confidence that Trump brings. So when Obama does these events and Biden does, they're very subtle. Where Trump is very bombastic. He knows that the world is watching. Trump honors actual people who keep America running, as I said. Military, first responders, essential workers, without identity gatekeeping. Trump events consistently put veterans, nurses, doctors, and frontline workers front and center as American heroes. The crowd on the mall is working-class families, truckers, tradespeople, and kids waving flags. No special sections based on race or grievance checkboxes. Previous administrations layered events with equity messaging that sorted Americans into underserved categories. That approach feels like it was designed to signal activists and donors rather than include the guy paying the bills and raising the kids. They celebrate the founding ideas and culture that made America exceptional, Trump does, without the constant asterisk. Trump's programming and speeches tie directly to the Constitution, military history, and the spirit that produced everything from the Revolution to rock and roll. No hedging about British exceptionalism, too. You might remember Obama's 2009 press conference where he said he believes in American exceptionalism the same way the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism. That relativizing tone ran through a lot of the messaging. It turned patriotism into something that needed footnotes instead of fireworks. They treat the People's House like it belongs to the whole country, not a curated subset. Massive public access on a national mall, state fairs, air shows, and programming built for broad appeal. Trump's events aligned with policies that actually moved the needle for working Americans. Energy dominance that created blue-collar jobs. Manufacturing talks that respected the people who make things. Biden's whole of government equity push from day one and the events that came with it reframed everything around group outcomes instead of individual opportunity. When inflation and energy costs spiked, those same working families felt the pinch, while official events celebrated abstract equity plans. That's not inclusion. That's exclusion dressed up in progressive language. The Trump administration rejects doublespeak that redefines patriotism as loyalty to elite priorities. Inclusion under the prior administration often meant elevating performers, themes, and policies tied to identity politics and global climate agendas that hit domestic workers the hardest. Trump's events skip the lectures and just do the flags, the flyovers, the anthems, and the recognition of people who show up for work. One side says America is great because of what people built and defended. The other side acted like America needed constant expert improvement and that traditional working class values were the problems to be solved. These are the things that are happening at Trump events. And you know every bit of that. Those of you on the left know it's true. The Biden administration was trying to elevate people they felt were marginalized. But what happens when you try to include? You always exclude. And I say this about liberalism all the time. Their rationale to rid the world of things always ends up ridding the world of things. Most likely the things that they're trying to keep, right? So they use the word inclusion, but in order for it to exist, you must exclude. When you're trying to platform others, you have to de-platform the rest. The simplest example was the Harvard University issue. By trying to fight racism by using racism. And they so much as said so. They racially discriminated against Asian students to make sure that black students got into the school. And they said it was because of racism. And when they were caught red-handed doing it, they admitted they have to in order to make up for all of the losses African Americans had by not getting into the school. That's what happens when you try to force the issue and they are not allowed to happen naturally. Now, I'll tell a liberal any day and all day, I know you don't believe in science because if you did, you wouldn't try to force so many things down our throat. Those things, if you believe in science, you would trust them to happen naturally, scientifically. I can even go so far, wow, talk about tweaking certain individuals. Let's say this. Why did we have COVID-19? The left told us that it happened naturally at a wet market, when indeed it was gain of function, developed in a lab. I mean, use that kind of as a wise old tale. When you try to alter science, calamity ensues. Because you can't keep a handle on the science you create. But you can if you understand science acting naturally, if you indeed believe in science. Which I don't believe that they do, but that's another story. I can totally understand what Donald Trump does. The guy's a showman. The guy looks at everything as an opportunity to sell. And I'm going to use a simple quote by Donald Trump. I'll paraphrase as little as I can on this, but I think I remember the quote. Donald Trump famously said about Barack Obama, I voted for Barack Obama because I thought that he'd be a cheerleader for the country. That's all you need to understand about Donald Trump. And listen to every one of the interviews he's ever done. When he wasn't in politics and he was just a businessman, when he talked about geopolitics, when he talked about Iran, when he talked about China, when he talked about Israel, when he talked about the Middle East, it was always about being a champion for the United States. He always railed against the United States getting what? Ripped off. All he cared, as many people try to say, he only cares about his own interests. That's funny. When he was all about his own interests, when he was Trump Tower this and Trump Hotel that, every interview he did, what was he talking about? Not his own business. He was talking about America getting ripped off. What we could do to make sure, again, even if it benefited him, how we could do better as a nation, making sure that countries weren't ripping us off. He was benevolent then, if you really think about it. If you get out of your own way, that is. But that's what he was. He had no politics to speak of, no ambitions. As much as people asked him back in the 80s and 90s, why not run? Why not run? Why not run? Oh, I don't want to run. I just want America to be great, he said. He also understood that even if he was promoting these policies to politicians, if he was telling them they need to do this, that, or the third, and of course those things would benefit him, but it wasn't like it was happening in some sort of isolated situation. The things that he was talking about were going to probably help other businesses, small or large, even Donald Trump's competitors. But that's what he was on. And to think that Donald Trump isn't the same way today as president of the United States would be dumb, would be irresponsible. But then again, what is new? When you got an axe to grind and the only thing you can do is hate the man, you can miss that. So when I look at this celebration, again, you can call it gaudy. You can say, I can't believe we wasted money doing this. I bet you he was enriching himself. Right in your face, huh? Okay. But I look at the alternative. I look at the alternative that does not include you and I. And didn't. Did you ever feel included in the way that you did yesterday with the UFC fight? Seeing those fighters, seeing the people show up, seeing the people cheering, hearing the people shout USA, singing the national anthem, the pageantry, the flyover. You didn't watch it and get a little bit of chills? Said, damn, we kick ass, don't we? Again, I don't even watch UFC. I watched the videos, and Roseanne and I both said, damn, we kick ass. Take a break. We'll come back. Speaking of some patriotism, I want to talk about a couple of things happening in Woodbury on this weekend, I think. We'll talk about that and much, much more when we return. Stand by. Oh, and I've got a video out that is already going viral. I can't wait to share it with you. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Did you know the average person uses a toilet 2,500 times a year, and the average toilet lasts 25 to 30 years? So with that in mind, wouldn't you want the best? Stop in today and see our extensive line of Toto toilets, the world's largest toilet manufacturer. Modern Plumbing Supply on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin, featuring Toto toilets, a brand we proudly stand behind. No pun intended.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
Brian Shackman here for Brian & Company on WTIC News Talk 1080. Hope you are having an awesome start to your week. The weather's been really nice. Listen, Tuesday's show is going to be really fun. Austin Florian, the Olympian from Connecticut, he'll join us. J.R. Rusgrove, the great restaurateur from Bristol, will join us as well. And Eric Semmel, Tech Tuesday. You can't get better than that. 5:30 to 9, plus we have all your news, weather, and traffic, everything you need, honestly, sincerely, to start your day off right, including hopefully a couple of laughs to boot. It's Brian & Company right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Connecticut, commemorating 250 years
of sustainability,
of culture, of innovation, of democracy.
169 towns strong.
250 years of Connecticut.
Visit 250nct.com for a calendar of don't miss celebrations and events.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Coming in later, well, actually, I should say later on today, I have a list that I want to share with you. It turns out that Reese on the radio has appeared on 2 lists. One, I came in second. The other one, I came in first place. I don't know how. Since we're giving out awards Finally, I got a runner-up position and a number one position. But I got to be honest with you, the one that I got number one for, I'm a little ashamed. I don't feel good about being in the number one position on this list. But it's something that I have to talk about. So stand by for that. But I want to give a shout-out to Michael B., Scallywag, original Scallywag. He sent me this last week, and I want to mention it. This weekend is the Freedom and Woodbury's third annual Freedom and Liberty celebration, which happens on June 19th on the North Green in Woodbury. And apparently former state senator George Logan will be there, and there are expected to be other candidates, local candidates who are going to be there as well, reading the Emancipation Proclamation at this event. I've been invited. I'm going to see if I can make it. I was supposed to be in Boston that weekend because my brother is going to Boston for that weekend, and he'll be there with his wife. And Roseanne is dying to meet my brothers, and this was an opportunity. So I'm not sure whether or not I'm going. I might. It's up in the air. I've got dinner with some church friends on Saturday that I just made plans with there. So I'm going to see if I can work something out. This looks like it's from 6 to 8, so I don't think it'll jive. But it's a whole thing. I'm going to work around it. But I wanted to just make sure that I got the word out. Woodbury's third annual Freedom and Liberty celebration, which is on June 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. on the North Green in Woodbury. What else was there? I know there was... I'll talk about it, I want to say roughly about 3:30, about the two lists that I'm on. On today's program, a lot of the Democrats here in the state appear to be running against Donald Trump, which I found odd every time I hear it. You're running against Donald Trump? How? So I went to go look it up. And it turns out whatever they're running against Donald Trump for has nothing to do with you. And when I say you, I'm not talking to my conservative audience. I'm talking about Connecticut. You. All of you. They are running a national campaign locally when they should be running a campaign about you. Affordability, whatever. Your safety. They're not, the stuff that they claim to be fighting Donald Trump on, they can't, it doesn't affect anything. Governor Lamont is actually running a campaign about how much money Donald Trump is going to give him so that he can give them to social programs. That's what he's running on. Now, I kind of now get what Josh Elliott was talking about when he said that Ned Lamont doesn't know what he's running for. I'm starting to understand it now. I was like, yeah, maybe he's right about that. But I've got the numbers. I've got the info. I will get to that as well. And then most importantly, we will do this in the next break. Ned Lamont passed a law. It's SB 397. He had a press conference with a bunch of people standing behind him, telling everyone, we got it done, we got it done. No one can wear masks in the state of Connecticut. The federal government is stopped. And if they do, they'll have, I don't know, hell to pay. I don't know, whatever it was. And then ICE came into the state. What they said was quite daunting. And Governor Lamont was asked about it. And he gave what can only be described as one of the worst answers ever to a thing he signed a bill for and was bragging about. But this is bigger than the fact that he got left with egg on his face and embarrassed himself in the administration. It is worse than that. I am going to tell you how this state, the governor, and the news media is going to get somebody killed because of what they didn't do as it relates to Senate Bill 397. They had an obligation to make sure that the people knew that this law had no teeth, and they didn't. We got the evidence of that too. Because what happened and what the Connecticut Post and the Connecticut Mirror got on tape could have gotten someone killed. Like we're talking another Renee Good or what's his name? Thomas Petty, whatever his name was. That's how bad it could have gotten. I'll explain that when we get back. So stick around. Go nowhere. John Silva is coming back with top of the hour news. We'll return after this. It's Reese on the Radio.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the Radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 3 o'clock, sunny skies, temperature of 76 degrees. We'll keep the sunshine for what's left of the afternoon. Temperatures will be in the 70s to perhaps near 80 in some spots. And lower humidity, too. You'll notice that. All the forecast details coming up from the State Department of Public Health. First case of measles to hit Connecticut in 2026. DPH today saying that the case involves an unvaccinated adult from Hartford County. The department says nationwide 2,073 cases of measles have been reported thus far this year. It looks to be on track to exceed the number of cases reported in 25, which was logged at 2,288. At the G7 summit in France, President Trump took time to discuss the peace deal with Iran. It calls for an extension of the ceasefire for 2 months. It has been signed digitally and will be formally signed in Geneva Friday. As for the Strait of Hormuz,
the strait opens completely. It's open now, but it opens completely. We'll have all the mines knocked out for the most part. We have a lot of lanes right now already.
Trump appeared with French President Emmanuel Macron on the first day of that summit. Now, in addition to concerns about the war's impact on inflation, banking officials now sounding the alarm on federal changes that are jacking up costs, they say. This is Connecticut Banking Commissioner George Perez.
I want to emphasize that we're not only talking about mortgage escrow, we're also talking about security deposit escrow. So whether you're a renter or you own a mortgage, this is going to impact you. And the truth is, these accounts don't belong to those banks. Those accounts belong to those consumers.
Senator Richard Blumenthal now calling on Congress to boost protections for consumers. State Department, or the State Board of Regents, that is, for higher education has now selected a firm that it says will conduct a comprehensive independent review of the former Chancellor, John Maduco. Grand River Solutions will be handling that investigation and subsequent report. Maduco, of course, stepped down earlier this spring amid allegations of sexual harassment. GRS will look into the board's response to the matter, procedures and practices going forward, and whether any patterns of conduct still exist. Developer Steve Shapiro is proposing a 14-mile span from Bridgeport to Smithtown, Long Island, bypassing New York City. He says it would create jobs and build the economies of Bridgeport and both states, but most of all, it would ease congestion and slash travel times.
The traffic's worse than it's ever been. That's the number one. Your jobs are great, revitalizing Bridgeport's great, all that good stuff, but our traffic's a huge problem. It's billions of dollars a year. People are not home for dinner with their families because of our traffic. We're worse than the country.
Now, the first 1 or 2 miles from either end would be tunnels, and in between, a bridge of at least 10 miles. The estimated cost, $50 billion, have to be raised privately. After a lengthy approval process, Shapiro is hoping the project could be finished in less than 20 years. First up, state lawmakers would have to approve a feasibility study. Well, some New Yorkers got a little too carried away at the celebrations for the Knicks' win Saturday night in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Mayor Zoran Mamdani.
There were a select number of New Yorkers who celebrated in a way that was frankly unacceptable. It was not celebration, it was an excuse, whether it be to attack someone around them or to be violent, even towards our police officers.
Knicks won 94-90 to take the series in 5 against the San Antonio Spurs. Ticker tape parade will be held Thursday from the Canyon of Heroes to City Hall in Lower Manhattan. WTIC news time is 3:04 from the WTIC 24-hour traffic network. And still have this issue in Southbury Vehicle fire earlier this afternoon on 84 East between exits 14 and 15 that has the right lane closed. Looks like an earlier crash in Cheshire on 84 has been cleared. Let's check the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
As we head through the rest of this afternoon, it will be less humid out there with some sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of 75 degrees. Then a few clouds out there tonight, turning cooler as well as we head down to a low of 53. For tomorrow, partly sunny, another nice day, high up to 78 degrees. Then a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow night, low 55. As we head into our Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds. There will be a couple of showers in the afternoon. High Wednesday, 79. Then we do have a cold front moving in for Thursday. It's going to be breezy out there, a little more humid as well with clouds and a few breaks of sunshine. We will have to watch for a heavy afternoon and evening thunderstorm. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. Our high on Thursday up to 80. Then for Friday, some sun, turning less humid out there in the wake of the cold front. The high on Friday, 81. For Saturday, partly sunny with a high again of 81. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, Wall Street, the Dow up 592 points. NASDAQ is up 769, and the S&P is up 128. They're at about the 4-minute mark. Belgium and Egypt 0-0 in World Cup play in Seattle. Earlier today, bit of a stunner in Atlanta. Tiny Cabo Verde and Spain. A 0-0 draw there. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
At Columbia Dental, they believe patient care should never be delayed. That's why they offer a full multidisciplinary practice under one roof, helping eliminate referrals and unnecessary delays. Columbia Dental is open 365 days a year. For more information, visit columbiadental.com.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let's go to the phones. Rick has been there for a minute. What's going on, Rick?
Hi, Reese. I just wanted to let you know, Saturday I posted something on social media, the Newington website, asking if anybody knew that Ned Lamont was not sending a delegation to Washington for the 250th celebration. And 95% of the people said that this man has a problem. He's like a big crybaby because Donald Trump is there. But then I also mentioned to them that you were organizing something to probably go to Washington, to just keep their eyes, posted and listen to the radio station. You'll have more information. But one other thing, Reese, I sent a message to our friend Matt Lesser and also to the representative of Newington, Gary Turco, and I asked them, do you know anything about Ned not sending a delegation, and what is the reason? And neither one of them have responded to me yet.
Do not expect them to. And I will, and thank you for doing that. Let me start off by saying that. Thank you for doing that, to let people know to keep an eye on this program or to keep an ear towards this program, because I am dead serious about getting this done, and it is looking positive. And we have, again, even though the event starts early next week, I think it begins on the 24th to about July 10th, which is a considerable amount of time. I mean, I wish I could coordinate with everybody in Connecticut and say, hey, you take a shift, you take a shift. You know what I mean? But yeah. I figured the most important thing about this is our 250th celebration. And being in D.C. for that and representing this state there, because they're going to get sort of proxies in D.C. They'll say, hey, listen, we'll put up some displays that represents Connecticut and we'll put some staffers on it, which, again, they can pay, just to do that, to make sure that all of the states are represented. They don't have to make a whole fuss about it, to which I'm saying that's fine. If Washington wants to do that, if the Trump administration wants to do that, the only thing that we asked them, if we could, is on those 2 days, the 3rd and the 4th, of course, more so the 4th, if we could just come down and just broadcast live there to at least represent our state with, if I can say so myself, the number one afternoon show in Connecticut.
Right. You can say that for sure. Yeah.
I just figured that we should really have a true representation. And if some people in Connecticut, faithful listeners of this show, if not this network, or just people who want to go down there, can come down on both of those days, come say hi to us when we're on the air, and we'll let some people give some shout outs back home.
Yeah, sure. You bet.
Sounds
good, Reese.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here, to see if we could coordinate it. Now, again, I wish I could be there. I'm going to still pitch it. I'm going to pitch at least, like, if we can work it out with the folks in D.C. and we just broadcast all week, that'd be fantastic. But I feel like the most important days are going to be Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Those would be the most important.
Yeah, just so we can be there. And I think it's fantastic, because I'd love to be in D.C. for the 250th anniversary, because the fireworks display at this event are going to be through the moon.
Oh, yes. This isn't anything like Joe Biden's transgender thing that he put on. This is for America and the Americans,
Indeed. I'm like I said, I'm looking forward. I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow to lay out at least the groundwork, but I think this is going to come together, and we're working with so many other people here in the legislature, Republicans, of course, and we're going to see if we could get the RNC, the national RNC, to at least give us, like I said, all we need is the 2 days, and they're like 4 hours for each day.
Yep.
So,
all right, Reese,
thank you, sir.
I just wanted to let you know that, and keep up the good work. You're doing a great job for us.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated, and thank you so much for always supporting the program.
You bet.
You got it. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's, like I said, I always say to myself, Reese, try not to sound critical, because I don't mean this in a critical way to those of you who brought it to my attention. I looked at this as a problem to solve instead of a problem. When I saw the Libs of TikTok post, I'm sitting at home. It's late. I think it's pretty late at night. Roseanne went to bed, and I wanted to watch the 1975 documentary. I think it's on Netflix or Prime. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to watch that because I thought that I remembered 1975 vividly. 6 years old, but, hell, I'd see what I could remember. And there was a lot I didn't. But a good documentary, and it's narrated by Jodie Foster. And it talks about all the films and just culture that happened in 1975. They define it as a pivotal moment in our history. I'm watching that, and I get this alert on my phone that I've been tagged in a story, and I see it, and it's Libs of TikTok saying that 6 states have opted out of the 250th celebration at this All-American State Fair. And I look at it and I go, we're not going. I look up for the article. It says, we're not going to send a delegation down there because we're going to be focusing on local stuff. Of course, makes sense, especially if we can't afford it. What went with that was, I want to say Mark from West Hartford was the first person to send me something, if not the Connecticut Sentinel. But either way, both of them were probably simultaneous. But they sent me an article that said that $88,000 had been designated for a pride event in West Hartford. And again, I wasn't looking to be angry about it. I was just going, that's weird. Why aren't we going? So I started looking up the cost. Said some states had dedicated as much as $100,000 to it. And I'm going, Connecticut can't afford that? I don't know. Not that I thought that WTIC could or they would give me that kind of money. But I looked at it, I went, wow, this is a lot of days. Okay, let me see if I can find a way. Like, what would work that we could be a part of it? Now, again, thinking cap on, marketing cap on, saying, how can we turn this into a net positive, something that everybody in the state could celebrate and could say, hey, we don't have to make this about Donald Trump. We don't even have to make this about Ned Lamont or about liberals versus Republicans, red versus blue. We don't. This is about the celebration of the United States. Let's just go. Why not? Now, I know I might be asking people to, spend money that they don't have, but even if they can't go, I can. Went to Roseanne. I said, sweetheart, do you think we could stay with some friends down in Virginia? She said, I don't see why not. I'll call them in the morning. And she did. We have 2, maybe 3 places to stay. There are people who are like, you're coming down? We got you. Fine. We used to live in Prince William County. That's where we would be. It's 25 minutes south of the city. We can literally, and I have the equipment to go down there and do it. All I have to do is plug it up. Again, my whole system, the same way I was doing it in Texas, plug and play. Internet, electricity. Booyah. Ready to go. Testing 1, 2, 2. Microphone checker 1, 2. I'm ready to go. I said, I don't see why not. And I'd cover the cost myself. Just rent a car. Go on down. It'd be worth it. And we can even promote it. We can go to all of the news stations and say, WTIC is going to be live in D.C. for the 250th, representing our state. That's all. That's all. And you don't have to rub anybody's nose in it at all. Where's the official Republican delegation to D.C.? Reggae Don asked. You're looking at him. Me. But again, if Republicans don't run the state, it is up to the governor. He is the leadership here, as it were. So he would be the person who is in charge of the purse strings, as it would be the House, for that matter. So if they refuse, that's fine. Like I said, we shouldn't have to leave it to them, though, right? We all are Connecticut, yes? Yes. So again, while you're trying to make it partisan, I'm saying we can just go. So I'm going. That's the way I look at it. And it's the smart way to look at it. What is my wife sending me? Okay. Obviously something to buy. We'll deal with that later. So, beating Donald Trump. One of the ways in which the Lamont administration thinks that it's beating Donald Trump is by pushing back on him on immigration. And instead of doing something like helping the administration get the worst of the worst out of the state, they have run opposition publicly and even by drafting legislation. One of which, as I mentioned, is Senate Bill 397. So last night, I decided to put together a video that represents something I told you was going to happen when he signed it, and that was nothing. And it was all going to come out, and the governor and everyone who stood behind him would look silly. So I wanted to express just how silly that was with actual footage. And when I got the footage, I said last night, let me put a video together to sort of explain what I was talking about. And what I love more than anything is Hannibal Lecter would say. I'm sorry, Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal from the A-Team would say, I love it when a plan comes together.
A month ago, Governor Ned Lamont signed SB 397, making it illegal for federal agents to wear face masks in Connecticut.
Stephanie and all of you, I want you to know, we didn't waste any time. We signed the bill. It is the law of the land here in the state of Connecticut. We're standing up and fighting for each and every one of you.
Imagine the shock when citizens around Connecticut saw ICE agents masked. One agent even told the crowd gathered,
Tell them to arrest me, I dare you. Tell them, who's going to arrest me?
Governor, what do you make of reports that ICE agents are still wearing masks while making arrests in Connecticut?
Look, we certainly passed our set of rules that say get the masks off, especially in schools, especially in courthouses. Stay away, keep our people safe. They are, federal officials, but that's our strong set of recommendations for these. Take off the mask. What are you embarrassed about?
What if they continue not to abide by that?
I'm not sure that we can arrest federal officials, but we can let them know how strongly we feel about this.
what was the point of passing the law, Governor? Is this guy for real? Ned, you gotta go.
So I post that last night, and of course it goes crazy. Gangbusters everywhere. People can't stop sharing it or commenting on it. And as I hear people or I see people responding to it and saying the usual stuff, that this guy knew that, right? Like, why would he even bother? He's so feckless. This is so dumb. Does he not understand the supremacy clause? All of those things. Yes, of course he understood all of those things. Of course he did. The crazy part is that so did the news media. Because I had to look this up because I wanted to make sure that I was 100% right on this. Did anyone in the news media do what I did after the bill was signed? Tell you, don't get caught into thinking that this law had any teeth. It was going to turn out to be a bust. ICE was still going to wear their mask, and people are going to show up and go, why do you still have on a mask? Which, by the way, the video of that guy saying, who's going to arrest me? The people in the crowd who were filming them keep saying to them, state law, you can't wear masks. State law, you can't wear masks. They believed it, and they repeated it in the street. But I went to go look this up just to make sure. I asked one simple question. Was it the job of the news media to tell the audience that this law had no teeth? Was it their responsibility to tell the audience that there was nothing Ned Lamont or the state could do to keep the ICE agents from wearing masks? And they said, yes. It is in a professional and normative sense, that matters for a functioning democracy. The media had an obligation to give the public the truth about the bill's practical limits. They do not have a legal obligation enforceable by government. The First Amendment protects the press' right to establish incomplete, biased, or even misleading information. But mainstream outlets routinely claim a higher role, informing citizens so they can understand what their government is actually doing. That claim carries a corresponding duty to seek accuracy, provide relevant context, and avoid presenting symbolic or legally constrained measures as robust new protections. Now, what the news media did, and we checked every outlet, what they did was they said, Republicans said it had no teeth. Republicans like Vin Candelara or Stephen Harding said that this was going to go nowhere. No news media backed up their claims by saying, yes, it is true. They have nothing to stand on, the state, that is. They never did. The core provisions targeting the federal immigration agents, protected areas for civil arrest, mask IDs, rules for federal officers, and the private right of action framed as reaching federal agents run into well-established constitutional realities. They knew that. But by framing it as just Republican noise was a disservice to those people who were standing outside, who were yelling at the officers saying, you can't wear the mask. It's illegal in the state. They had an obligation to tell those people, actually, that's not true. And when you're confronting those agents, if those dummies who are out there who obviously didn't care about it, didn't care about the law, imagine they would have gotten in the face of one of these agents and grabbed their mask or confronted them physically. What do you think would have happened? Because they don't have the information. And it's clear they don't have the information because, again, if you watch that video, what do you hear those people with their cell phones up? You can't wear a mask. State law. State law says you can't wear a mask. It isn't the law. And therefore, people were being put in harm's way because they weren't given the information. Now, it is on everyone to do their due diligence. Before you go out there, protect yourself by understanding what the Constitution says, what it does not, what your constitutional rights are, but more importantly, what theirs are. The Supremacy Clause. Or we were going to have someone else who may have been hurt, if not killed. Because one of these overzealous individuals who think, you're breaking the law, I'm going to stop you. Blow. Over. Who's that land on? When you were warned, when the Democrats are cheering this on and Republicans are saying, this isn't a law. And the news media doesn't do its job by saying, folks, by the way, if you see some people out there wearing masks, that's because this law has no teeth. And the Republicans are absolutely right. They should have done that. But they left it hanging out there, and they treated it like partisan swill. Again, wasn't like I didn't warn you. Wasn't like I didn't say anything. When we come back, stand by. We'll take your phone calls. I see them lighting up. We'll get to that in a second, and then we'll read some comments in the chat room when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the radio.
Brian Shackman here for Alair Elder Law. Listen, my wife and I, we have no plans for the next phase of our life, and we were freaked out. And you know what? I had interviewed attorney Haley Alair before. I just said to my wife, let's sit down with her and her team and see how it goes. And, you know, whether you need estate planning, power of attorney, wills, trust, probate, whatever it was, we sat down, we went over our options, and we had this collective exhale that immediately made us feel better. You want to feel that and be prepared for your future? AlairElderlaw.com. Again, ALLAIRE, elderlaw.com. Brian Shackman here for CertaPro Painters. I don't know about you, but for me, I want to be able to trust the people that do work on my house. That's why CertaPro Painters could be perfect for you. They get the job done right because they take pride in what they do. And by the way, the painting is professional and all of it at the right price. When you choose CertaPro Painters, you're not just hiring a service, you're partnering with a local professional with over 70,000 five-star reviews. So schedule your free estimate today online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then, we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
And now, a WTIC news update.
3:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The State Board of Regents for Higher Education has selected a firm to conduct an investigation in the aftermath of the resignation of Interim Chancellor John Maduco. He stepped down this spring amid sexual harassment allegations. Grand River Solutions will handle the investigation. A preliminary report is due by the end of the month. Measles has turned up in Connecticut for the first time this year. The Department of Public Health says the patient is an adult from Hartford County. DPH says there have been over 2,000 cases nationwide thus far, and at this rate, the number could surpass that of last year. U.S. and Iran have reached an initial agreement that would extend their ceasefire and lead to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says it's been partially reopened, making that comment from the G7 in France. Significant challenges, though, remain to ending the war, including whether Israel will continue its offensive in Lebanon. State police have been investigating what was called a suspicious incident in Burlington today. CSP and local fire were in the area of Stanwich Lane and still haven't had any official word on what they've been looking into. California Governor Gavin Newsom says President Trump has ordered the Justice Department to investigate him and his wife. Nature of the alleged investigation was unclear. Newsom saying in a video posted on X that federal agents in recent days have knocked on the doors of his friends and former employees and have asked for records. And officials in Brazil are investigating the site of Sunday's fatal helicopter crash that left 6 people dead after 2 choppers collided in midair over a suburb of Rio de Janeiro. WTIC News Time 3:31. Let's check the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Less humid and quite comfortable for the rest of this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll be headed up to a high of 75 degrees. Then a few clouds out there tonight, turning cooler as well as we head down to a low of 53. For tomorrow, partly sunny, another nice day, high up to 78. Then a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow night, low 55. As we head into Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers in the afternoon. The high Wednesday, 79. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, Dow's up 575 points, and NASDAQ's ahead 741, and the S&P is up 124 half hour before the close. Mostly sunny skies right now in Hartford. Temperature is 75. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Whittlesey Accounting Advisory Technology wants you to think about golf. Travelers Championship opening day is in just 7 days.
Life takes unexpected turns, doesn't it? Divorce, the loss of a loved one, a personal injury, losing your job. Suddenly you're searching for someone new you can trust to guide you through. But what if you didn't have to start over? What if your legal team already understood you? At BPS Lawyers, we're more than just lawyers. We're a full-service law firm that's been part of this community since 1977. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com or call 860-CALL-BPS. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
The biggest worries for CEOs are cyber threats, geopolitical instability, and artificial intelligence, according to the Conference Board's CEO Confidence Survey. 2 out of 3 CEOs ranked cybersecurity as a high-impact concern in the second quarter, up from a little more than half in the first quarter. Concerns related to AI and emerging technologies declined slightly to 57%. I'm Jason Brooks.
My
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Connecticut, commemorating 250 years
of sustainability,
of culture, of innovation,
of democracy. 169 towns strong.
250 years of Connecticut.
Visit 250nct.com for a calendar of don't miss celebrations and events.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Hey, baseball fans, you can win tickets to a Boston Red Sox game with the Red Sox Player of the Game contest. Just listen when we announce the player of the game during the 7th inning stretch. That would be during the break in the middle of the 7th inning, during every game broadcast on WTIC. Then tune into Brian and Company the following morning at 8:10. Know the player of the game, be the correct caller, and you'll win a pair of tickets to an upcoming game in Boston. It's the Red Sox Player of the Game contest, only on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, fired up and ready to go for a Monday. I like the phone lines like this very early. Let's start off with Simsbury Joe. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm fired up. You've probably seen me online, a lot more than calling in, and I'm taking no prisoners at this point.
What do you got today?
So you mentioned immigration, so I figured I'd call about that one and the whole thing with the law and the masks.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I keep harping on, no matter where I am, and you were talking about this as well. Too often we make the assumption that the people on the opposition side to us are every bit of as aware of how the world works and the laws and the Supreme Court and the Supremacy Clause. These people would probably say, well, the Constitution was drawn up by a whole bunch of old white men. We need to change it.
Yes.
And, it's great that you did that video, but as you know my personality, I'm extremely aggressive and hard-hitting when it needs to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it doesn't need to be. But the fact is that I would want all these people to see the video of the Antifa person in New Jersey screaming in the face of the ICE agent, I'm going to find your family and I'm going to kill them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of emotion that I think that we need to get across to these people, to wake them up, to show them this is why they have to wear a mask. Because although you may be a peaceful protester, your side has a lot of nut jobs. And if they don't believe that one, then show them the video of the woman in Minnesota where the ICE agent comes over and says, ma'am, while you were interfering with us and trying to stop us from doing our job, we captured a child rapist.
Yeah.
And her response was, I don't care.
That's right.
Because I think a lot of these people on the left don't realize and don't internalize for whatever reason what people are like on the fringes of their group.
You know what? Can I just to stop you there, because you made a very important point. So the video that I played or that I clipped for that ad that I posted, before that guy, or I should say, before that guy says, what are you going to do, arrest me? He is in a back and forth with a protester, and he does exactly as you described with that woman. He says to the guy, you don't know that the person that we just arrested sexually assaulted someone. The protester then responds and says, you can say anything you want. Nobody's going to believe you. You know where these guys where sexual assault takes place? At the detention center, the protester says. So it's like you're 100% right. That's what's in the mindset of these individuals is they don't believe a thing that's going on with these ICE agents and who they're pulling off the street.
So I agree. So really quick, the second part of my call, and this also has to do with immigration in a way. It has not really come to our shores the way it has over in Europe. But Europe is usually a precursor to what's going to happen here.
Indeed.
Well, the other day in a Simsbury chat, I brought up Ireland, and I was told that I should remove my comment because I was representing racism, and the people of Ireland were showing collective racism in going after the migrants.
Yeah.
Now, this person clearly had no idea about the beheading attempt.
Right.
They had no idea about the rapes of young girls or anything like that. But you would think, and this is what I'll use the word scared just to articulate this, that right now there's a video out today of UK police arresting a 5-year-old child and dragging them into the car. There's videos out of UK and Irish police not just wearing masks, but full riot gear and beating the daylights out of Irish and UK citizens.
That's right.
And now we also have another story, and I think this is, I said recently, I don't know if it was your show, I know I've said it online, that Elon Musk is a trillionaire, not because he knows how to do every bit of those jobs, but because he's very, very good at seeing patterns. And he gets ahead of these patterns, and he invests in these patterns, and that's why he makes so much money. And the patterns that he's seeing are very similar to the patterns that I'm seeing, in that the government over there, and I guess today or yesterday, in the UK, Keir Starmer, they come out with a law that kids under 16 cannot go on social media without parental permission or something like that. But they're really cracking down. And they list all the things, X, YouTube, Facebook, what's the number one thing that they left off this comprehensive list that kids can go on at any age?
Roblox?
Blue Sky.
Oh, Blue Sky. That's right. They're not on the list.
Which is
That's
the
100%
most
right.
disgusting far left, mess with the kids, brainwash them. And people are going nuts about that, but it's like, folks, there's something here going on here that we need to keep an eye on, because if you're brawling with migrants and, you know, there's a video of the 17-year-old girl that was stabbed in the throat.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of bad stuff going on out there. And we have people in our country saying, oh, no, I talk to people over there. It's fine. No, it's not fine. And I just have a fear that the stuff that they're doing, Canada was going to do the same social media law. They just put it on hold.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump's going to, but something's going on that we need to be very well aware of, because they're trying to set something up. They're trying to light a spark, and
I don't think
plans.
I don't think there's any likelihood within the next 2 years, if not the next 4, we're going to have to deal with that. But I want to get to some others before we go to a break. Thank you, Joe. I always appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
You got it. Let's go to Ralph in South Carolina. What do you got, Ralph?
How you doing, Reese? Listening to your good friend Chris Murphy, I don't think there's a lower life form on the planet than Chris Murphy.
Yeah, he said, what was the thing he said just recently? Was it about the Democrat, whoever comes into office as a Democrat's got to tear down the ballroom after he gets into office? Or we're talking about Donald Trump waving the white flag to Iran?
Right, to Iran. Now, here's a guy that's got a brain the size of a very small gnat. And he is nothing but a low-life politician, and all they care about is power, Reese. You know what this country would be like if they were in charge? All these criminals would be running around the streets of Hartford, raping, robbing, and doing whatever, because they feel that those criminals have a right to do that.
Ralph, but that would be, remember, that is the end game, right? If there's calamity in the street, the only person who could solve it is a politician. So, I mean, people forget that is the end game. If you were to put them in charge, of course it would be chaos. The reason for the chaos is because they would believe that their whole existence as a politician is there to put an end to it. That's the whole game plan beginning to end. You cannot survive without government intervention.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how you feel, Reese, but I talked to a lot of people, and these far leftists, they're going to push and push until they push over that red line.
I know what you mean.
All hell's going to break loose, and they're going to regret the day they were born and try to destroy this country.
Listen, what I'd rather it do is that they don't win electorally. I don't want them, and I'm hoping that they become so radical that they are a turnoff to every living being in the country, so that they never get.
I agree with you 100%, Reese. But look who these people are. They're being elected by these people who call themselves Americans. They're not Americans.
You're right. I still
Democrats
believe.
Or communists. They're not Americans.
I agree with you, but I will say this, is that all politics are local, but I think that some of these fringe guys are in places where they will absolutely make no change. I think the news media is kind of buffs those folks up than they do. Thank you, Ralph. Let me get to Bert in East Hartford. How are you, Bert?
Well, Reese, I don't think you and I have spoken before.
No, I do not believe so.
Get my attention with the 250 celebration. I find it an embarrassment that the Constitution states that it was housed the Charter Oak, where founding documents were hidden in the center of Hartford, is not represented.
It could, again, it was all, as you just expressed it, and I think my wife said it, I said it, Tim and Debbie, who run the Institute for Connecticut History, they said it, where the Constitution state, how in the hell are we not at the 250th anniversary? It makes no sense.
It's an embarrassment.
It is.
It's an in-your-face statement. That's what it is.
And I think that's kind of the reason why I was inspired to say, I don't have to wait for my representatives to be down there for me. If I can represent myself, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start making some phone calls, writing some letters.
Hey, you know what? All power to you, and call us back and let us know, Bert. We appreciate it.
Take care.
You got it. Let's go to John in Wethersfield real quick. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, Reese, how you doing?
I'm good. What do you got?
Okay, so the fight yesterday, one thing that wasn't mentioned, I think it's a great thing. I mean, first of all, whatever you say about Mark Zuckerberg, you can say whatever you want, and you won't get any pushback from me. But one thing that Meta did, they had an advertisement about their glasses.
Oh, for the blind folks.
Huh?
For blind
For the
veterans?
blind folks. Oh, okay, so that was mentioned?
No, I didn't mention it, but I saw the report this morning.
I think that was awesome, and I don't think it would have happened unless that fight happened last night. I don't think, because what I think about Zuckerberg, I think it was all promotional, and he only did it because of the fight and where he was.
Yeah, that was,
I think that's a great thing, though.
I
think it's an awesome
absolutely, because I saw one of the gentlemen who was the first recipient of the Meta glasses, and you're 100% right. Anything that helps folks live their lives, especially those who are disabled, you can't shoot that down. You can't even criticize it because what an incredible day for that man. I saw him on Fox and Friends this morning, and how overjoyed he was to be that recipient. And the fact that they're going to be free for everybody.
I understood it. That was only for veterans.
Yes, it's going to be free for all veterans. So if you are a blind veteran, you get them for free.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm very excited about that, and it was it's a great idea. And as you can say whatever you want, you're right about Mark Zuckerberg, but the old saying goes, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
You got it. Stand by, Fred. We'll get to you right after we come back from this momentary break right here on WTIC.
When a contractor needed to quickly lock down valuable equipment on site, they called the leader in mobile storage, Eagle Leasing. We delivered a clean, watertight storage container exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
When a contractor needed convenient office space on their job site, they called the leader in mobile offices, Eagle Leasing. The next day, we delivered a clean, high-quality office trailer and put it exactly where they needed it. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or go to eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Did you know the average person uses a toilet 2,500 times a year, and the average toilet lasts 25 to 30 years? So with that in mind, wouldn't you want the best? Stop in today and see our extensive line of Toto toilets, the world's largest toilet manufacturer. Modern Plumbing Supply on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin, featuring Toto toilets, a brand we proudly stand behind. No pun intended.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
When you want local news, turn to WTIC News Talk 1080, Connecticut's only radio station with a dedicated news team reporting on the local stories that affect you. From Manchester to Mystic, Hartford to Hampton, and Putnam to Plymouth, one radio station has your local news and breaking news as it happens. Local news from the WTIC newsroom. And now, national news from ABC News Radio. Listen on your radio, smart speaker, or on your phone with the free Odyssey app to WTIC News Talk 1080.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Northeast Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combination therapies that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and to the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. That's northeastmenshealth.com. Northeast Men's Health, advanced medical science to empower male performance.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Sparky asked the question, how do we go from the Constitution state to the pizza state? Such a good question, Sparky. I didn't even think of that. Very clever. Joey V says, an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground to rule over the ashes. Very true. Very, very true. Again, like I said, I'm not waiting for anybody else to make a decision for me. I don't need Lamont's permission to go down there. I can go down there on my leisure and represent this state. And that's why I came up with the idea. I'm like, I don't care. What are you going to do? Fred in Middletown, poet laureate of the Reese on the Radio program. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. So I just want to keep you apprised of what's going on across the AM radio dial. Vinnie Penn has been showing you some mad love lately, dude.
Really?
Your bit with Governor Lamont gets good to him. He's played that a couple times, and he played one of your other things. And then he breaks it down, and it really gets good to him. He goes, this is this guy's thing. It's like, showing up, and he really loves the way you make, as he put it, Lamont, break into a white man's sweat.
I got to give Vinny a call. I haven't talked to him in a bit. I'll give him a holler.
Dude, what's not to love, Vinny Penn? But, yeah.
He's a good guy.
And he says, right off the bat, like these soft racists like Lamont, right off the bat, a black conservative, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what you are.
I told you that, though, Fred. Didn't I tell you? I said liberals in Connecticut treat black folks, if not black conservatives, like defusing a bomb. They don't know what to do. Cut the red, cut the blue. They don't know.
Right. That's right. And here you walk in with, your thumb on the pin yourself. Like, So I just wanted to help you up to that gets good to him.
I will definitely give him a shout. Thank you for that. Very much so, sir. You got it. Yeah, I trust me. I've said this privately as much as I say it publicly. I know. Trust me, I know. And they're going to have to work on that because, again, I'm not going out there being some muckraker for the sake of. I'm asking very pointed questions respectfully. And I know that they don't know. I was like, what's this guy? What is he doing? Why is he asking this? Yeah, well, when you live your whole world thinking that people are, based on their skin color, that thing, you're going to get tripped up. So you should be prepared by now. I've been to several press conferences. You should know what's coming up. You should know now. I don't know, whatever. It happens. When we come back, it turns out Reese on the Radio is on a couple of top 5 lists. And in one of them, I'm in the number 2 position. And the other one, I'm in the number 1 position. Can't believe how I got the number 1 position on this one. But when you hear it, you'll go, kind of makes sense. Let's go to our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. I made the number 1 and number 2 list, Mark, actually in something. I know Brian Shackman just won Best Personality on Radio, but I made a number 1 too.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it in a little bit.
Is it a prestigious award? Or?
It's perspective. We'll put that in.
Okay.
It depends on your perspective.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
All right. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, on the eastbound side of 84, we have a car versus motorcycle accident, 84 eastbound, just prior to the tunnel. Looks like the right lane is out there. Looks like you got delays back to 44 Prospect Oakwood. Behind that, westbound 84 slowing both the bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. Southbound 91 delays Hartford 34 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling northbound, Route 9 delays approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Southbound Route 9, you've got some road work going on in the right lane. Just prior to exit 30 in Cromwell, delays are approaching exit 32 in Berlin. Behind that, eastbound side of 84 into Waterbury slowing 17 to 18. Again, 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Mixmaster in Waterbury. South 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. And both sides of the parkway a little tight as you approach the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Less humid and quite comfortable for the rest of this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll be headed up to a high of 75 degrees. Then a few clouds out there tonight, turning cooler as well as we head down to a low of 53. For tomorrow, partly sunny, another nice day, high up to 78. Then a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow night, low 55. As we head into Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine with a couple of showers in the afternoon. The high Wednesday, 79. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 4 o'clock, Hartford temperature 75 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. The State Department of Public Health is announcing the first confirmed case of measles in Connecticut in 2026. The patient is an unvaccinated Hartford County adult. Officials say Connecticut is one of the last states in the country and New England to report any measles activity. According to DPH, in the last 5 years, Connecticut has logged only 2 positive cases. Those cases were of unvaccinated individuals who had traveled abroad. The resident in the most recent case did travel abroad and began showing symptoms upon returning. They're currently in the hospital in stable condition with symptoms including fever, sore throat, a cough, and a rash. Haven't been any details released of that memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran looking to end the war. It would extend the ceasefire by 60 days to allow for more talks toward a final agreement and a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. ABC News contributor and retired Marine Colonel Steve Ganyard says the devil's in the details.
It's not like the end of World War I. It's not like the end of World War II. It's more like the end of Korea or the end of Vietnam. Very unsatisfying. End of Afghanistan or Iraq. Very unsatisfying because both sides still believe that they won.
Connecticut Energy Marketers Association is reacting to news that an end to the U.S.-Iran war is near and that traffic may soon resume in the strait. SEMA President Chris Herb.
I think that this is something that consumers should welcome and should be reflected in some declines in prices.
Herb, though, says consumers may need to temper their expectations. He says it could take months to get back to pre-war status because it takes time to process oil supplies. Herb also says there's the issue of damage done to energy-producing infrastructure in Middle Eastern countries. For most Connecticut residents, driving to Long Island means a slow trudge through New York City. An ambitious proposed $50 billion public-private partnership, though, could change all that. Here's WTIC's Dave Maker.
Long Island is so close yet so far. That's why for a century, powerful people have been proposing a bridge over Long Island Sound.
Rockefellers, Robert Moses, Roosevelt's, and more recently Cuomo.
Now developer Steve Shapiro is selling his plan, 2 tunnels with a bridge in between, overall 14 miles from Bridgeport to Smithtown, slashing travel times.
We lose, on average, 100 to 150 hours a year driving. We got to do something.
Just the approval process would take years. Shapiro, though, optimistic most of us will be able to drive that bridge in about a generation.
I'd like it to be a little south of 20, but I think realistically for you and me to drive over there on a nice steady day in a convertible, 15 to 20 years.
In Hartford, Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
A 21-year-old woman who died in dramatic fashion when 2 rope jumping instructors threw her from a bridge without first harnessing her to security equipment has been buried in Brazil's Sao Paulo state. Maria Eduardo Rodrigues de Freitas was going rope jumping on Saturday at an abandoned bridge in the municipality of Lamira, where tourists practice extreme sports. The young woman, who aspired to become a physical education teacher, had asked to be launched from the bridge airplane style, with 2 instructors hoisting her above their shoulders as she spread out her arms. 3 men now who worked for that company that provides the rope jumps have now been arrested. Now, President Trump's name is no longer on the side of the Kennedy Center in Washington, but the public still can't see the name of the late President John F. Kennedy either.
The Kennedy Center's executive director said in a sworn declaration Saturday that crews had removed President Trump's name from the facade, but tarp-draped scaffolding remains in front of the building, obscuring the letters that identify it as the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. The center spokesperson says the tarp and scaffolding will remain in place as crews address maintenance needs of the marble and soffit panels on the building's front. It's unclear if that maintenance is related to the installation and removal of Trump's name. Officials haven't said how long the work might take. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow up 469 points, the Nasdaq ahead 795, and the S&P up 122. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Brian Jackman here for Allaire Elder Law. Quick story. My wife and I, we've tried hard to save for college. We've tried hard to save for retirement. We're still wanting, but we were prepared. After that, no idea what to do. And then we woke up one day and we're like, we need to do something about it. I had interviewed attorney Haley Allaire before, and I said, well, why don't we sit down with the Allaire Elder Law team? They're local. They know what they're doing. I've talked to them before. And she said, okay. So we went in and talked to Haley Allaire, and I can tell you, we didn't even know we were stressed. The second we sat down and started going over options, we both just collectively exhaled, because we knew we were in the right hands. And you can have that exhale. If you got that stress right now, you can do something about it and get your future solidified. Whether it's estate planning, power of attorney, wills, trust, probate, life care planning, home care planning, Medicaid, all that stuff. The Allaire Elder Law team can take care of you. They're local, and they know what they are doing. All you have to do to get started is go to allaireelderlaw.com. Again, it's ALLAIRE elderlaw.com.
Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. He's on the radio. One time, he's on the radio. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Yo, we never finish 'cause the party don't stop. The way we consider politics, we on top. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Reese is on the radio. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio.
All right, weather and traffic coming up in a second when we return. Turns out that Reese on the radio appears on 2 very important lists here in the state of Connecticut. It's who doesn't show up on the list that alarms the hell out of me. But the fact that I show up so high on another one on the list. So there's one list that I only end up being number 2, and who I am number 2 on that list, I guess makes sense. But I think that after November, then it means that I'm going to be pushed up to number 1. I'll explain. But the other list, the fact that I end up in the number 1 spot bothers me, because there are other people who clearly deserve more than me. And they're not at number 1. I'll explain. You don't want to miss this when we get back. All right? And plus, we'll take your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Our good friend Mark Christopher's back He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. We have the remains of an accident, 84 eastbound, just prior to the tunnel downtown Hartford. So right now, you're going to see delays kicking back to exit 44, Prospect Oakwood. Behind that, westbound side of 84, slowing Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound delays from 33 down to 32 A and B. If you are traveling now on the westbound side of Route 2, look out for some slow traffic. We have an accident between exit 1B and the Route 2 westbound ramp. The left and right lanes are shut down there, so look out for that. You're going to see delays approaching 1D behind that problem. If you are traveling 9 northbound into Middletown, delays Harbor Park up toward the Aragoni Bridge. Look out for a crash now 9 southbound between exit 31 and 30. The right shoulder is shut down there. You're seeing delays back to exit 32 in Berlin. Behind that, eastbound side of 84 in Waterbury slowing 17 to 18, and again 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 slowing approaching 25A, again 22 to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. And if you are traveling right now northbound on the Parkway, you'll see delays approaching 62 in Meriden. Also on the southbound side of the Parkway, delays 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 South New Haven tight, 46 down to 44 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by NJM Insurance Group.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than you dread yard work, with a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around, then you might have Insuranoia. You should have NJM Insurance. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders.
WTIC weather.
Less humid for the rest of this afternoon with a good deal of sunshine. We'll have highs ranging from 75 to 78 degrees. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, turning cooler out there as we head down to a low of 53. A nice day overall for tomorrow with a partly sunny sky, the high up to 78. Then partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 55. For our Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds. There will be a couple of showers around during the afternoon hours, the high Wednesday 79. Then for Thursday, a cold front will be moving into the region. That's going to lead to breezy and humid conditions. We are going to see clouds and some breaks of sunshine, a heavy afternoon and evening thunderstorm around. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. The high Thursday up to 80, then less humid for Friday with some sunshine, and the high up to 81. Right now it's 75 in Windsor, 72 degrees in Canton, and 74 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Whittlesey Accounting Advisory Technology wants you to think about golf. Travelers Championship opening day is in just 7 days.
To stay cool and save this summer, you need the best AC system tune-up and repair services. Go with your local HVAC pros. Go with Petro. For special offers, go to petro.com or call 844-482-2496 today.
Keep WTIC News Talk 1080 with you all summer long for the information you need. Weather forecasts from Bob Cox help you plan your summertime activities. Taking a trip? Mark Christopher's traffic reports will get you there without the hassle. Plus, up-to-the-minute news reports twice an hour. No matter where you go, listen on the Odyssey or iHeartRadio apps and stay informed with what's going on back in CT. Because when you're on vacation, we're not. WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Herbie Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, back. Reese on the radio here. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Don't forget, you can always check out ReeseOnTheRadio.com whenever you like. Substack's there. Now there is a link to the rundownnews.org. That is the new website, the rundownnews.org. We're getting that underway. A couple of stories already in the bag at that website. So we're doing the rundown, which in essence is nothing more than us covering the coverage. So if there's news out there with its sort of a liberal bent and not based in reality or the truth, we're there to cover those stories and tell you what the real deal is. So that is the rundownnews.org, or as I like to call it, the Rundown with Reese on the radio. So make sure you subscribe on Facebook as well, and we'll make sure that you can do all of that on the website. So in doing what I do here, I always want to know who are the most conservative voices in a state, anywhere, in the news media. And the reason why is because I like talking to those people to see where their head is at. What are they talking about? What are their audiences? What do they care about? And as I was looking for the list, I kept hearing the usual stuff. Well, we don't have a lot of conservative voices here. And if they are, they're limited to this, that, and the third. So I'm still saying, but yeah, I'm sure they're here, right? Somebody's got to have a publication that covers conservative news, even if it's, kind of in the periphery. Excuse me. So I started looking them up. And I asked a simple question. Who are the top 5, maybe 6 conservative voices pushing back on Democrats in the state? And the answer surprised even me. I like to go over that list for you. Again, the most conservative voices pushing back on Democrats and liberalism in the state. In that list, I got 6 entries. We'll start from the lowest to the most or the strongest. Number 6, national syndicated hosts Eric Erickson and Sean Hannity. They touch Connecticut issues when they rise nationally, but lack daily granular state-specific focus, secondary to local programming. Number 5, Connecticut GOP Communications, The Right Direction podcast and partisan outlets. Explicit opposition messaging, useful for highlighting issues, but inherently partisan rather than independent media criticism. Number 4, the Connecticut Mirror does occasional solid reporting on policy problems and internal Democrat tensions, e.g., or in other words, for example, progressive challenges to Lamont on taxes and spending. However, overall framing stays mainstream and gives Democrat leaders regular platforms with less urgency on core governance failures compared to the top 2. Again, the Connecticut Mirror is viewed as more pushback on Democrats than the Connecticut GOP Communications Department and nationally syndicated hosts like Eric Erickson and Sean Hannity on this very program. Speaking of this very program, number 3, or this station, number 3, Brian Shackman, morning co-host on the same station, covers state politics and interviews, but operates in a broader news talk format rather than hard conservative opposition, not positioned as a primary daily antagonist to Democratic leadership. Number 2, the Yankee Institute for Public Policy. Strong data-driven reporting and analysis on spending, pensions, welfare usage, tax structure and fiscal outcomes under Democrat control. More research-oriented than daily personality-driven, but frequently the best source material used by other critics. Consistent and substantive. Sorry, it was like something in my darn throat. And the number one position for the hardest critic of Democrats in the state of Connecticut is yours truly, Reese on the Radio. Daily afternoon show with sustained Connecticut-specific criticism of Lamont administration, legislative Democrats, taxes, energy costs, crime, sanctuary policies, education outcomes, and one-party rule effects. Regular direct engagement at press conferences and events, highest volume, and specifically in broadcast media. No one matches the regularity of on-air focus. No one. Now, and I'm happy to be on the list. Hey, I'm number one conservative opposition to Democrats in the state. I don't know how I did it, but the Yankee Institute has been here for a long time, as is the Connecticut Mirror and Connecticut GOP. Again, it is an honor just to be nominated. But then this list is on there. Here's the ranking for critics and the toughest critics and most impactful towards Governor Lamont's record and potentially affecting voters or force accountability in the 2026 cycle. Again, the people who potentially affect voters or force accountability in the 2026 election cycle. Number 4, Democrat primary challenger Josh Elliott. Number 3, the Yankee Institute. Number 2, yours truly, Reese on the Radio. Number 1 was surprising. The number 1 consistent, substantive challenger to Lamont's record and forcing accountability and affecting voters is State Senator Ryan Fazio, the number 1 position. Which means if Ryan Fazio wins, Reese is back at number 1. That's all it takes. I am, again, like, how in the hell does the primary challenger to Ned Lamont end up at number 4? I found that interesting. That's crazy. Yikes, should have B-52s, yeah. Yeah, so I ended up saying Reese on the Radio ranks second for relentless in-person media accountability that most traditional outlets don't deliver. He and his team regularly attend Lamont press conferences, directly questioning the governor on energy, utility rates, and ratepayer impacts, policy outcomes, and governance issues. Exchanges that have left campaign staff visibly uncomfortable, combined with his daily radio program that creates consistent, pointed pushback on affordability and real-world effects that resonate with engaged listeners. It's direct confrontation rather than abstract commentary. That's what they said about yours truly. That's nice of them. I think it's fantastic. Again, you know, and I'm just honored because I don't know if I said this before, but if I haven't, I'll say it. And if I've said it before, it bears repeating as far as I'm concerned. Mark of West Hartford will probably attest to this. They left the door open. They did. They just sat there with the door unlocked. And I said, okay. Nobody wants to occupy this office? I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's start decorating. Put some curtains up. It had to be done. But I'm not going to lie, folks. It was easy. These guys are running the state like a soup sandwich. It is easy to trip these guys up. They are not ready for prime time. None of them. I don't care who they are or how long they've been around. These are not serious people. I speak of, people like Bob Duff. He's not that's not a serious dude. This guy has got, I was looking at his X account. Dude, you cannot have that many people hating you on your own X account. Like, your X account is made for you to troll people online. There isn't a favorable statement made on anything you post. You are clowned every time you post. Every time. Even I clowned you. But again, that's because this isn't serious. And I think that there's a part of this, as I've said for a long time. And a perfect example of that was this Senate Bill 397. The Senate Bill 397 is a perfect example of how you allow people to get away with pure nonsense and not check them on it. You have this guy put together this pageantry to sign this bill. Every person under the sun, as far as legislative leaders, are there in the background, watching you, applauding, with cameras rolling as you sign this ineffective, unenforceable bill. Everybody knows it, but the cameras still roll. No one challenges you on it. No one even asks you a question. Hey, you do know this law does nothing, right? What do you say to that? And get them on the record saying, no, this is a serious bill. And then you can catch him on the other side where he says, well, we can't arrest him. Well, no, I've got you here saying that this was effective and it was going to exact some change. That's what this was all about. And the fact that nobody, and just want to throw this out there too, so we understand it. Renee Good was shot and killed because of her confrontation with ICE agents. She was led to believe that she had a constitutional right to stop them from doing their job. Ran a guy down and got shot in the face, folks. It was all any of the politicians here could talk about. It was all they could admonish by the Trump administration. They signed the law as a response to Renee Good's death, knowing that it would do nothing and knowing damn well it would probably create a situation or a scenario where one of their own supporters would be out there in the street and quite possibly put their lives in harm's way with an ICE agent. And not one person in the so-called responsible media mentioned it. Didn't even write an article. Not even an op-ed guy. I looked. The only person who said anything about it was me. That was it. I checked everywhere. No one wrote an article that said, this is dangerous. Understanding what happened in Renee Good. Even on a partisan level, the people here who were openly suggesting what happened to Renee Good was wrong. We can't have ICE agents. They were signing this law as a response to that, only putting somebody else in the same situation. Because some bozo gets in and says he thinks that ICE agent is breaking the law because of this pageantry, that he gets up in the ICE agent's face and someone ends up hurting him. It was irresponsible. So they made it easy. They did. They made it really, really easy. So you leave that door open, I'll kick through that all day. Let's take another check of weather and traffic. When we come back, what are Connecticut politicians fighting Trump about? The answer will not surprise you. It's nothing. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, sir.
He was up late with the event at the White House last night.
Who was?
President Trump.
Oh, yeah. That was late for him. But then again, he barely sleeps.
Yeah, he doesn't sleep. And then, you had the big event with
Yeah.
the MMA guys beating each other up. Then he's texting by 4 a.m. this morning. So I don't know when this guy... When does the Donald... And he turned 80 yesterday.
Yeah.
When does this guy
isn't
sleep?
he in Europe right now? Isn't he in France right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't it wild?
I don't know how he does it at 80 years old. The guy never sleeps.
I need at least 3 naps with all of that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right with you. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, eastbound side of 84, you've got delays. Call it about just prior to exit 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up. Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. If you're traveling 91 southbound, delays 33 down to 32 A and B. 2 westbound, we have an accident in East Hartford up by exit 1B. Only the extreme right lane is getting by right now. Delays are approaching 1D behind that. Another accident, 9 southbound on the Berlin-Cromwell line. It looks like it's southbound down by exit 30 on the right shoulder. Looks like delays are approaching exit 33 in Berlin behind that. If you are heading toward Waterbury right now, look out for an accident, Route 8 northbound, and that is up by exit 29. Looks like delays back to 27 in Naugatuck behind that. If you're traveling 84 eastbound into Waterbury, delay 17 up to 18. And again, some slow traffic from 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Less humid out there for the rest of this afternoon. We'll see some sunshine as well, the high 75. And partly cloudy and cooler tonight, low 53. Heading into tomorrow, another nice day with a partly sunny sky. High up to 78 degrees. Then a few clouds around tomorrow night, low 55. For our Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine, along with a few showers in the afternoon. The high on Wednesday, up to 79. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Measles has reared its ugly head in Connecticut. The Department of Public Health says a Hartford County adult is being treated in the hospital. They're in stable condition. They say the person did return from traveling abroad and was not vaccinated. An investigation's underway into the discovery of 3 bodies in a Burlington residence. Channel 3 is reporting the find was made today on Stanwich Lane. No word yet on causes of death. The U.S. and Iran have reached an initial agreement that would extend their ceasefire and lead to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says it's already been partially open. Significant challenges, though, remain ahead to ending the war, including whether Israel will continue its offensive in Lebanon. The details of the deal were not immediately released, but it appeared that it would not be implemented until it is signed. The State Board of Regents for Higher Education has selected a firm to conduct a comprehensive independent review of former Chancellor John Maduco. Grand River Solutions will be leading that review. Maduco, you remember, stepped down earlier this spring amid allegations of sexual harassment. GRS will look into the board's response to that matter, along with practices and procedures and whether any other patterns of conduct may still exist. Several of the skydivers who were killed when their plane crashed moments after taking off from Missouri over the weekend died when that plane went down in Butler, Missouri. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 468 points. The NASDAQ gained 795, and the S&P was up 122. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Northeast Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combination therapies that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and to the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. That's northeastmenshealth.com. Northeast Men's Health, advanced medical science to empower male performance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Let's do the darn thing.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Stupidest thing I've read today comes from NPR. Apparently, there's something they call Code Switch that was written on June 12th. The title is Why Being Black and Outdoorsy is a Whole Thing. The piece kicks off with a viral video of a young black guy happily frolicking in an Oregon meadow. Basic human joy in nature, right? No, but NPR dives deep into the racist history of black people being outside. Interviewing a black frolicker. I didn't know that was a thing. This one's name is Daniel. And folks from the People of Color Outdoors group frames enjoying meadows, hikes, or fresh air as loaded or complicated thing for people of color because of historical trauma, safety fears, and systemic barriers that make the great outdoors feel exclusionary. Findings include how past racism, lynching, sundowns, and etc. supposedly lingers, turning a simple love of nature into a profound identity of equity and struggle. That's a brother can't frolic because of systemic racism. I first of all, it is a known thing that many in the African American community do not like the woods or do not like nature in that sense of being out in the woods because of foreign animals, so to speak. That's the best way to put it. Animals, the wild, snakes, rabbits, anything that doesn't speak English. Like yours truly. I don't. Are you a frolicker, Roland, by any stretch of the imagination? Are you a person who's out there in the wilderness by any chance trying to be one with nature? Is that your deal? That's just not a thing, right? And it isn't because of some systemic racism. We do not see the whole thing as Whitey might be out there. We just say, that's not us. Yes?
Yeah, no, I don't like bugs and trees and heat and
yes,
rocks and sand and
sleeping on the ground.
Yeah, that's
exactly. I don't get it. It's like, when has this ever been a thing? Like, no one is feeling that they're slighted, that they don't get to do these things. I'm telling you, I slept on the floor once, my friend, once at a friend's house on like what would only be described as a blanket. Worst experience of my life.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that before. But
you think you do it outside?
It's even worse outside. Got to be, right?
Exactly. Sleeping and something crawling on you or around you? No.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go to sleep.
Thank you. It's exactly. Yeah, that's why this is the stupidest thing I read today. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark, I'm sure that you've gone camping, but you did it in a log cabin, right? You didn't do it in a tent outside, did you?
I've been in a tent, and my parents had one of those, the campers that you pull behind the car.
Yes.
And then you have to crank up the top and the
Yes.
top of the camper, and it sleeps like 6 or 7
Still
or 8
a house,
people.
right? It's just a mobile house. That's all it is.
It wasn't that comfortable, but
Was it on the ground where you slept on the dirt, or did you sleep on an actual floor? See, that's what I'm talking about.
I slept inside the camper. Yeah. It was fine.
Would you ever sleep outside on the dirt?
Well, I'd have to have a tent. Yeah, I wouldn't
That's my
just
whole
sleep in the
point.
dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, well, sleeping inside of a tent on the ground, you would risk it in the wild?
I've done it. Yeah.
Oh,
in
how
my
many
younger
times?
days.
Oh,
my
yeah,
younger
yeah.
days.
Oh,
yeah,
when you were
yeah.
a kid and you couldn't say no.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
That's what I'm saying. You had the behest of your parents, so you had to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was fine. I had no problem. It was fun.
No, I'm not
It was
doing
fun.
that.
Yeah.
At any age. Nope.
No, it was fun.
I'm sure it was.
This traffic report is being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And if you are traveling on the westbound side of Route 2 right now, we have an accident. And that is just prior to exit 1B. It looks like it's taking out all the lanes except for the right one. So you want to go way right there. In East Hartford, you got delays approaching 1D behind that. If you're traveling 84 eastbound into Hartford, delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 slowing East Hartford, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. Southbound 91's a little slow, 33 down to 32A and B in Hartford. If you are traveling 9 northbound into Middletown, you got tight traffic Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound slowing, 33 down to 30 as you move Berlin into Cromwell from an earlier accident. If you're traveling in the westbound side of 84, delays 691 up to 26. 84 eastbound's tight 17 to 18 in Waterbury, and slow traffic 84 eastbound 26 down to the 691 interchange. Look out for an accident northbound on Route 8 in Waterbury, and just after exit 29, right lane's blocked. Delays are approaching 27 in Naugatuck behind that. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, it'll be nice and comfortable for the rest of this afternoon with low humidity and a good deal of sunshine. We'll be heading up to highs of 75 to 78 degrees, then partly cloudy and a little bit cooler out there for tonight, low 53. Tomorrow's going to be another nice day with a partly sunny sky, the high 78. And we'll have some patchy clouds around for tomorrow night, low 55. Heading into Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine. There will be a few showers around, especially during the afternoon hours. Wednesday's high 79. Then we do have a cold front moving in for Thursday. It's going to be breezy to humid out there for Thursday with clouds and a few sunny breaks. There can be a heavy thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. The high Thursday up to 80. Then less humid on Friday. A little bit cooler as well with some sunshine. The high Friday up to 81. Right now it's 74 in Manchester, 74 degrees in Farmington, and 75 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Injured? Dial pound law. Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade from Fox & Friends. Have you checked out my radio show, The Brian Kilmeade Show? Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. We're talking about the issues that matter most to you. We're giving you the breaking news, talking to the newsmakers you want to hear from. Where does President Trump take the country? Where do the Democrats go from here? We are covering all this in great depth and so much more. The Brian Kilmeade Show, weekdays, 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. Listen to your radio, smart speaker, or on the free Odyssey app.
Brian Shackman here for Certa Pro Painters. Now is the time to do it. If you've been putting it off, Certa Pro Painters can provide that free estimate. They can do it quickly and at the right price. I can tell you they did my kitchen and it was phenomenal. You never have to wonder about what's next. Certa Pro Painters, they give reliable updates and they're always in communication. And listen, schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio here. Let me see. What will happen once Trump is finished with his time as president? Has anyone begun to think about life after Trump? No, nobody thinks that far ahead. They'll do it right on the spot. Before I take some phone calls, I want to read what John Beckman wrote about the stupidest thing. And I guess when someone tells you that they've gone glamping, you have to consider what that means. So when he wrote it, I just went, oh, yeah, I remember that term. So glamping, if for those of you who are not familiar, is sort of glamorous camping. Yes, like a cabin. Very well-to-do, yes, very well-to-do sort of accommodations. So John Beckman writes this from Nevada. My wife wanted to go glamping, so we went to Utah for a couple of nights, and our accommodations was an Indian teepee. It did have a bed, and I thought it was nice. But here's where it really gets interesting. Again, John Beckman says that this was glamping in a teepee. He then writes, and they had an air conditioner. If the teepee had Wi-Fi, I'm there. I'm there. But it had a bed and an air conditioner. You can't get more glamping than that. You just can't. That's just so good. Oh, and no one was offended. In Utah, there wasn't a tribe that just says, I don't know, buddy. This sounds offensive. I'm not even Native American, and I don't feel like this is authentic. But, okay. To each his own. Steve is in South Windsor. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Reese. I love you.
Thank you, sir. I love you.
I'm still worried about John Larson isn't walking by my house anymore.
we looked up.
We
did give him a holler.
Because I'm sort of a neighbor down the street. He's in East Hartford, and I'm just wondering what his thoughts are about impeaching Trump now.
Funny. He is, it's funny because I just saw a story about he and Luke Bronin arguing about dark money in campaigns. And people are making fun of them because these guys, because of who they are. It is interesting that you haven't seen him around, but you really have to consider it, Steve. He is really in a fight for his life, as a representative. So I don't really think he's got time to take walks or quiet walks in the neighborhood. Maybe that's, he's got to put his nose to the grindstone, maybe.
It was very constant, and then it just shut down.
Yeah. Well, we'll be on the lookout for him. We've called his office to see if he'll come on the program. He may do us like Josh Elliott and say it doesn't help him, but I don't know. We'll see. We're going to reach out.
All right. Yeah, just a little concerned about John.
I got you, buddy. And you know what? He should be told how concerned you are. I'll give him a holler, I promise.
Thank you.
You got it, sir. Corey is in Meriden. How are you, Corey?
Hey, brother. How you been?
I'm good, sir. Welcome back. What's going on?
It has been a long week. I just got done moving the whole family to Florida. And
damn, Corey.
Back up here, and I know the difference between the two now, and I
Corey, you've left us. You've gone to Florida. Whereabouts, by the way? We're in Florida.
We're up in northern Florida, outside of right outside of Jacksonville, and
okay.
It's the most gorgeous thing I've ever had. Gas prices are literally $1 or more less than what we have in Connecticut. I'm back in the state right now. So.
Oh yeah, no, I know you're picking up some more knickknacks that you left behind.
Yeah, that, and I got to sort of end of the career here, but yeah, no, family's down there. They're loving it. They don't know why we stayed so long, and yeah, man, it's completely the opposite of what we're seeing here on the state.
I know, and all I can say to you now is welcome to your new job, part of Florida's Tourism Council. We appreciate you.
It's beyond words, man. It's beyond words.
I know. We're working here. You are only making it more tempting for a lot of people. I'm trying to put an end to that.
I was going to throw one little last thing in here because a lot of people are posting on X and on a few of the other platforms. I don't have Facebook, but the thing is it true that all of a sudden, because Ned is up for the ballot, that people are now seeing a credit on their electric bill? Is this true?
Yeah, you're 100% right. People are talking about it. In fact, we had on Dan Haar from Hearst Media talking exactly about that, trying to spin this whole nonsense that Lamont's been doing in the last month. While I was trying to make this argument with Ned Lamont in my video or in my confrontation him, that he is nickel and diming people too little too late. He's Santa Claus in an election year. This is stuff he could have been doing for years. And, of course, his new catchphrase, we're just getting started. Well, you can't just get started 8 years in.
Well, the funnier part was most of the federal credits that he got that came into the state, they got distributed to homeowners for all the, if you remember, the climate initiative.
Right.
Stuff for solar panels, whatever you had in your yard. The thing I need you to do is get me the information for an attorney, because he might have just violated all those contracts through Cura. And that's the homeowners that actually had this initiative put on their houses.
Ooh.
If you want me to explain, I can.
No, but you know what, Corey? You know exactly how to get in touch with me. Send me your information at reeseontheradio.com so I can look into that. I know exactly what you're talking about. We don't have enough time for that, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I got you, brother. I love your show. We're picking it up in Florida and Connecticut both at the same time. Love you, and you have a great afternoon.
Thank you, sir. You too. Let me take Joe real quick in West Hartford. Is he in West Hartford? Joe's in. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm living the dream.
What's up?
But I loved your interview the other day that I saw you on the lawn talking to the governor.
Yes, sir.
And I loved how the governor walked up and tapped that guy on the shoulder as if it was a square dance. Let me cut in.
That was Norm Needleman, who would not stop talking.
Yes. Well, that was great. And then I just want to warn you about Governor Rowland used to have a show, and he was explaining how everything worked here in Connecticut. They took him off the air and sent him back to jail.
Look.
So be careful.
I tell people all the time, I await the hate soon enough. Look, when I know that they're desperate and their message is falling flat because of the work that I'm doing here, I am awaiting every angle that they have to throw at me. And I say this, it only proves to me that what we're doing is effective. And we're getting some results on that.
Exactly. And two more quick points. Movie references.
Yeah.
This is how Connecticut makes their laws. Look up the movie Monty Python when they decided, I'd like to make a new law. I think it should be proper for men to have babies.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
You remember that?
Yes, that's a great bit. That is a great bit.
And then the other thing was Outlaw Josie Wales. When you were talking about the teepee, there was a section where the chief said that the Indian woman made a great meal, and I'm thinking about taking up TP living.
Hey, I'm telling you that John Beckman swears by it. He said it was a pretty good deal. He said he thought it was really nice. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the chat, man.
You got it, man. Pleasure. Thank you so much. Lori is in Glastonbury. Let's go to her. Hello, Lori.
Hey there, sir. So 2 things. On the camping, in the 70s, we had a gypsy moth caterpillar invasion.
Ooh.
And I was in the Campfire Girls, and we went for a camping weekend. We were in a lean-to, so we had sides, but we had like only 2 sides, but not like a front and back.
Uh-huh.
So we all go to sleep in our sleeping bags in this little lean-to, and we wake up in the morning. There are caterpillars all over us, in our sleeping bags, on our faces.
Oh.
They were everywhere. We all woke up screaming. All of our leaders said, "That's it. Pack up your stuff. We're taking off. We're not staying anymore."
It's everybody to the Motel 6. There are less rodents.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my goodness. And wait a minute. Where were you, in Connecticut?
Oh, yeah, right here in Connecticut.
Oh, my goodness. How old were you?
I believe I was 8 years old.
Oh, that had to be the See, I would imagine an 8-year-old girl with caterpillars all over their body would run you crazy. Are you still afraid of bugs now because of this?
No. Fortunately, like gypsy moth caterpillars were fuzzy. So, like, you think something's fuzzy, it's a little less threatening. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So but it was gross. It was like we were all grossed out, and we're all like trying to pick them out of all of our hair and all of that.
Oh, they were in your hair.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
But I was also thinking, if you're going to be going, what a time to go up to Boston. Dude, I'm so jealous because I don't know if you've seen all of the Tartan Army, like all of the Scottish people that are up in Boston right now.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks, I want to be there. It looks amazing.
It's going to be a big deal. I'm only going to, like I said, it is unfortunate that my brother's going up there for Juneteenth. But I figured, I haven't seen my brother in a couple of years, so I would love to go visit him. So I'm probably going to do that. But we'll see what happens.
I hope you run into some Scottish people because it looks like they are having the time of their life. They were all in Fenway last night. They're all singing like, and I would walk 5,000 miles or 500 miles.
Oh, yeah, I would walk
whatever.
500 miles,
They're singing it at the top of their lungs all throughout Fenway. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be with these people. They look fun.
Yeah, they probably do. By the way, Joey V says, my wife Lisa remembers that she may have been a part of your camp.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think that's what he means there. He says, my wife Lisa remembers that when you had all of the fuzzies all over you. Isn't that wild?
Wow. Well, see, there you go. See, Lisa, we survived.
Small world.
Didn't really go camping much after that, but we survived.
Indeed. Thank you, ma'am. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Take care.
You got it. Last but not least, let's go to Phil in Southington. How you doing, Phil?
Not too bad, sir. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed yourself at the little Poland festival.
It was
called
different.
You Friday just at the end and told you about it. I didn't see you there. I left early. I was blown out by the heat by about 2 o'clock, so I don't know what time you showed up.
Yeah, roughly about 1:30, and we took a slow walk from wherever the band's playing when you first get there, and we walked all the way to the back where the Jamaican restaurant or the Jamaican food truck was. So we did all the way up. Yeah, we went all the way up and came all the way down. We were only there for, I want to say at best, maybe about 2 hours. But it was fun. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I was probably in the Holler Post parking lot at that time where the main stage was set up.
Yes.
Next to the church.
Yes, absolutely. We went in there for a little while and saw some Polish dancing. I don't even know. What is it called? What kind of dancing is that?
Oh, you got me.
I don't know, but but it was.
That's not my area. Those are the Goralkas, the Highlanders.
Yes. Well, no. There was actually, it was wild because they had the traditional dancers up there with everyday folk who were out there doing the dances while the band was playing. I thought it was adorable because nobody looked like they knew what they were doing, so it was kind of clumsy but cute at the same time.
I heard you when you first got on about the T-shirts.
Yes.
I said that I remember telling you I'll be the guy in the red T-shirt with the white Polish eagle on it.
That's
but
horrible.
There were only about 4,000 or 5,000 of us out there.
totally the point. When I got there, the first thing I said, I thought of you. And I said, coming here looking for a guy in a red shirt is like saying, meet me in front of the Chinese restaurant in Chinatown. It's the worst thing you can say. Thank you, Phil. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, sir. Appreciate it. Bye.
You got it. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
That was a great atmosphere at Fenway last night.
Yeah.
They're out in the bleachers just singing the whole game. It was crazy.
Yeah. Fenway's a great field, man. I don't care.
I'll tell you, the
Anybody says, I
Scottish
love it.
people, they know how to party. I did a wedding. I was out at one of the islands. I don't know, the Cape or one of those islands.
Uh-huh.
And when I was out there, and these people came in on a Tuesday night. The wedding was a Saturday afternoon.
Holy moly.
And I went out with them after the wedding, and they were going hard. I mean, really hard. I was smoked. I was like about 30 years old, but they had been doing this for like 5 straight nights. And nothing slows these people down. They are amazing.
Yeah.
You were at the Polish Fest over the weekend?
Yes, I was.
That's a great time, man.
It was. Food was great.
I know. The food is awesome there. Look at Reese. You're everywhere, man.
Trying, man.
You are everywhere. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, you got delays. 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up. Approaching the Boakview Bridge out to 44 Prospect Oakwood. Southbound 91 delays. Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. If you are traveling on 5 and 15, and you're on the northbound side of that, you're going to see some delays. Charter Oak Bridge heading over to the 84 East ramp. If you're heading right now 9 southbound, you've got delays now from 32 in Berlin down to 30 and the 91 interchange in Cromwell. Northbound Route 9, you've got delays. Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound, Meriden slowing, moving up by 62 on the Parkway and that construction there. And if you're traveling on the eastbound side of 84, delays by 18 in Waterbury, and again 26 down to the 691 interchange in Cheshire. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
WTIC Weather Center forecast sees less humid conditions. The sun will stay with us for the rest of the afternoon, mid-70s. Partly cloudy, cooler, low 50s tonight. Another nice day for Tuesday. Partly sunny skies with a high in the upper 70s. The State Department of Public Health is announcing the first case of measles in our state this year. The word from DPH this afternoon that the case involves a person from Hartford County. The department says so far nationwide there have been just shy of 2,100 cases of measles that have been reported. That is on track, though, to perhaps exceed the nearly 2,300 cases that were reported in 2025. A peace agreement between the U.S. and Iran ending the war between the two appears imminent. President Trump says the memorandum of understanding would extend the ceasefire that's currently in place by 60 days and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump provided an update from the G7 gathering in France.
The deal's all signed, and the strait is already partially opened. As you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found, but it's essentially ships are starting to go out now. On Friday, it'll be completely open.
Vice President Vance says the deal has been signed digitally and that officials are on track to put pen to paper in Geneva on Friday. Now, a potential end would be welcome news for consumers who've been hammered by high energy prices. At the Connecticut Energy Marketers Association, SEMA President Chris Herb says those he represents are also being impacted.
We're seeing that people are not topping off. They're not filling their tanks up. What they're doing is they're buying small increments of fuel at a time. Small businesses have been hammered with the credit card fees. As prices go up, credit card fees are a percentage that retailers have to pay.
Herb says things won't get back to normal right away, though. He says it could take weeks or even months to transport crude around the world the way it was pre-war. An Easton-based developer has an ambitious plan to build a toll bridge from Bridgeport to Smithtown, Long Island. 14 miles, $50 billion. Steve Shapiro says that means $1.25 billion each from Connecticut in New York.
The amount that Connecticut and New York would participate is 2.5% each. They would be paid back through the tolls as well. Everyone would see full revitalization of their investment. And then once everyone's paid back, this thing could generate $3 to $4 billion a year in income.
Private investors would pay for half of the span. Shapiro says those traveling between Connecticut and Long Island spend too much time driving through New York City or on the ferry. A bipartisan group of lawmakers have heard his proposal. They plan to push for a feasibility study next year. California Governor Gavin Newsom reacting to word that the Justice Department's about to open an investigation into him.
Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit.
Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC investigators in California have been examining Newsom's wife's taxes that began in 2025. State Board of Regents for Higher Education has selected a firm to conduct what it calls a comprehensive independent review. A former chancellor of CSCU, John Maduco, Grand River Solutions will be leading that review. Maduco stepped down earlier this spring amid allegations lodged against him of sexual harassment. GRS will look into the board's response to that matter, along with procedures and practices, and whether any patterns of conduct still exist. Big day for the markets on Wall Street amid news that a deal with Iran is in the works. The Dow gained 468 points, and NASDAQ posted a 795-point gain, and the S&P was up 122. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Mark from West Hartford just sent me a video. His daughter was at the game at Fenway last night, and she said that it was a blast. That crowd looks epic at Fenway. Wow. That's amazing. I love Fenway. I love the Green Monster. I got an opportunity to sit there once, and I still love it. Let's get some music news in ya. News. Aurora, a Norwegian singer-songwriter of the song Runaway, turns 30. Don't know who that is. Gary Lightbody, the lead singer and rhythm guitarist of the group Snow Patrol. They actually have one song that I really, really like. He turns 50. Russell Hitchcock, lead vocalist of Air Supply. Looks like a lot of Air Supply birthdays coming up. He turns 77. Nader Holder, the lead singer and guitarist of the group Slade, turns 80 years old. And rapper Ice Cube turns 57 today. On this day in 1989, Nirvana released their debut album, not Nevermind, Bleach. That's right. That was their first album. Nirvana's first album was released in 1989 called Bleach. It was on a group, it wasn't called Sub Pop Records. And it was before Dave Grohl became the drummer of Nirvana. In 1985, one of my favorite albums, and definitely an epic album, Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms began its 9-week run at #1 on the Billboard 200. My favorite song on that album is So Far Away. Still my favorite song. What is this? Kayu Sakamoto's Sukiyaki in 1963, became the first Japanese language song to hit number 1 in the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. And in 1996, jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald, known as the First Lady of Song, passed away at the age of 79. All of that is your music news. But Dire Straits, Brother in Arms, still love that album. It was now picked up by a friend of mine who gave it to me to hold, and I put it on and listened to it, and I never stopped. And my friend never got that album back. Dire Straits, still one of my favorite bands. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. So Far Away, still my favorite song
great
by
song.
Dire Straits. That's such a... In fact, I used to play it all the time when I lived out of town. The girl that I was dating named Nicole lived in Mount Kisco while I lived in Queens. And I would play that song. I was tired of
You
making...
guys were so far away.
Tired of making out on the telephone. Because you're so far away from me. I love that line. Such a beautiful song.
That was one of my father's favorite bands. He loved Sultans of Swing.
Yes, that's my song. I was just listening to that yesterday.
I still remember a very emotional moment in my life. It was after my dad had passed, and I got on the air. I was on the air. It was like at midnight, and I said the legal ID WTIC FM, and I hit Sultans of Swing. I said, "This one's for you, Pop." And I walked out of the studio, went into the bathroom, and cried for about 5 minutes. That was before computers, so I had to get back in.
Yeah, but everything about that song, Sultans of Swing, is such a great song musically, lyric-wise. It's a great story, everything.
Yeah.
It's a great song. That was a great album.
Yeah, no question about it. Mark Knopfler and the guys.
No doubt.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese 84 eastbound, you got delays 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulky Bridge out to exit 44 Prospect Oakwood. Southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. If you are traveling on the northbound side of Route 9 into Middletown, you got delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound slowing from exit 32 in Berlin down to exit 30 in Cromwell. Westbound side of 84 is a little bit tight, moving by the 691 interchange. Again, 22 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18 in Waterbury. Again, from 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. If you are heading down in toward New Haven, 95 south delays 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Sponsored by Petro Home Services.
To stay cool and save this summer, you need the best AC system tune-up and repair services. Go with your local HVAC pros. Go with Petro. For special offers, go to petro.com or call 844-482-2496 today.
WTIC weather.
Well, we are going to see a good deal of sunshine for the rest of this afternoon. It will be comfortable out there as well, with highs ranging from 75 to 78 degrees. Then partly cloudy and cooler for tonight, low 53. We do have a nice day in store for tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high up to 78. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 55 for our Wednesday. We are going to see times of sun and clouds. There will be a few showers around, especially during the afternoon, the high Wednesday 79. For Thursday, our weather turns much more active. We do have a cold front moving in. It's going to be breezy and humid, clouds and even some sunny breaks as well. There can be a heavy thunderstorm around for the afternoon and evening hours. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. The high Thursday 80, some sun and less humid on Friday with a high of 81. Right now it's 73 in Avon, 72 in Tallinn, and 74 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
You know, every kid deserves to look their best, especially on their first day of school. Bring your new or like new school clothes like sweaters, sweatshirts, and coats to Eddie Jordan's Furniture. And Cradles to Crayons will make sure they help a child in need.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The homestand continues for the Sox. Up next, AL East foe the Toronto Blue Jays.
Way up there, and it is gone.
And the Sox are looking to get some wins in the division.
High into right field. This ball is crushed.
Red Sox, Blue Jays, tomorrow night at 6:05. Follow your Boston Red Sox all season long right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let me get Jeff on the line real quick. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, sir. What's up?
Yeah, sir, I missed the reason that you were talking about camping, but I had something to say about camping.
Okay, the reason why I won't camp is because there are too many foreign elements outside the tent. That being animals, snakes, creatures, things like that. Like I said, I tell people this all the time. They think I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. I consider roughing it a hotel without Wi-Fi. That's too much for me. So I'm really about the creature comforts of home. So what are you a camper, Jeff?
Yeah, I love the creature comforts of home too, but when I go out and camping, especially when I was a teenager, that was one of my favorite things to do with me and my friends.
Uh-huh.
We'd be 14, 15, 16 years old, and we would somehow procure ourselves a case of beer, a bunch of beef jerky, and then for the morning you brought a few eggs with you and a can of that corned beef hash.
And the parents wouldn't think a thing of it for you to be gone overnight?
No. We were just camping. They loved it. They didn't have to look after us.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That part I understand. I will admit, and I consider myself responsible for this culture. I grew up a latchkey kid, and then I became the hovercraft or the helicopter parent. Even though I came from a latchkey atmosphere, which should have, again, been the natural state of things with my own child. But no, I was a helicopter parent like you couldn't believe. I mean, my son couldn't even get dirty. I was really protective.
I think maybe I didn't have a latchkey parent, but like I wasn't, abandoned either. Like
right. And no, I think there's a distinction here. In essence, your parents trust you or even trusted the neighborhood enough that you can go out because someone was in the neighborhood who you all knew and trusted. So it almost felt like that was an extension of home. Does that make any sense?
Oh, it was definitely not an extension of home.
No?
We would march out into the woods for like 2 miles.
Oh, man, no. And you'd be out overnight and mom and dad, no problem?
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
My dad was an outdoorsman, and he was in Nam, and we grew up very, very rurally in Pennsylvania, so it was not like a big deal.
Who was your dad, Grizzly Adams? Like, goodness gracious. What the hell? So really, and it would be, and you just come home the next day and think nothing of it. It was like, okay, hey, Jeff's home.
Yeah. Me and my friends had the greatest time, and we didn't use any tents or anything like that either. We'd build a big fire, and then we just put our sleeping bags on the ground, get in them, and that was it.
Wow. You probably look at this world like an alternate universe when it comes to kids going out and playing.
Yeah, I really do. I don't even know if kids go out and play anymore. They're all
not like that. I'm not going to lie. In Connecticut, I'm driving to Bristol. I saw the one thing I couldn't believe. I'm on Route 6 going towards Bristol. I'm coming from Farmington going towards Bristol. I'm about, I have to say maybe, no, it wasn't even that far. Oh, it was right before the Walmart on 6 going from Farmington into Bristol. Right before the Walmart, I'm looking on the right-hand side. It's right before we get to Boston Market. And lo and behold, I see 2 kids riding their bike. I'm going, hey, that's weird. Kids riding their bike in the middle of the day. It was Saturday. I'm like, oh, and just riding through the strip mall. I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I, at least in Connecticut, you can find places where people still ride their bike. Everywhere else, probably not.
Yeah, and riding my bike as a kid, my parents made me wear a helmet, but I just hide it in the woods of the street because I look like an idiot.
These kids, by the way, Saturday didn't have helmets on, and they were both girls. That's right.
Yeah.
Both girls, no helmets, and just riding through the neighborhood.
I'd never wear my helmet because it just looks stupid, so I hid it in the woods.
Yeah, kids care about appearance more than you would think. So they don't. Yeah, they don't want to look like they're all sheltered and can't handle themselves. So that makes sense. Thank you, boss man.
I thought that camping story might be fun for you because even though if you have a camper or a tent, you're much safer. But me and my boys, we used to just sleep right on the ground. You'll be all right.
Yeah, that's because you're absolutely clinically insane, sir. That's what without a doubt.
That's not the first time I've been told that.
Well, I'm glad you sensed the pattern. I appreciate you. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you, man.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Can I ask a weird question? I just want to ask a weird question. And it's not because I'm a racist. And it's not because I want to make everything about race. I only make it about race when they do. Right? I'm a counterpuncher. You punch, then I punch back. And I saw this story today in the Connecticut Mirror, and I couldn't help but notice something. And that is, what took so long? What do I mean? Melanie Cradle, according to the Connecticut Mirror article, Melanie Cradle nominated as first black woman to the Connecticut Supreme Court. Now, I guess that's supposed to be a big deal, so fine, we'll applaud it. Congratulations, Miss Cradle. However, I can't help but ask, what took so long? We're in 2026, and we're just getting a black woman to the Supreme Court? Are you telling me that we could not find an accomplished black woman to be nominated to be on the Supreme Court in Connecticut until now? Unless there were other nominees that didn't make it, which would also seem odd considering the supermajority here in the state. Chief Judge Melanie Cradle of the Appellate Court was nominated Monday by Governor Ned Lamont to the state Supreme Court, positioning her to become the first black woman to serve on Connecticut's highest court. If confirmed by the General Assembly, she would succeed Joan K. Alexander, who has submitted her resignation as an Associate Justice effective August 1st. She will remain a judge and continue her role as a chief court administrator. Cradle, 56, has been a judge for more than a decade, nominated to the Supreme Court by Governor Daniel Malloy in 2013 and the appellate court by Lamont in 2020. She has been a chief judge since last year. Lamont nominated Superior Court Judge W. Glenn Pearson to succeed Cradle on the appellate court. Pearson, 57, has been a trial judge since 2017 and currently is assigned to the complex litigation docket in Waterbury. The governor noted the nominations were coming as the nation prepares for the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the greatest sentence ever written. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. By the way, Governor, those words existed way before 2026, sir. In fact, those words were still there in 2019 when you took office. So the fact that you waited until the 250th anniversary to finally nominate a black woman, again, because you made it important, I didn't, begs the question, what took you so long? Seriously, what took them so long? Were you holding her up for re-election? Hey, listen, look, I really want to nominate you, Melanie. I really, really want to, but I got to wait until the re-election, okay? Until my re-election campaign, because then, I could use you as my token black. You know what I'm saying? I can say, see, I'm helping out the sisters, Because otherwise you got to explain to me, you could have done this at any time, right? Right? The state of Connecticut could have done this at any time, right? And Ned Lamont, that may be the case. You probably didn't have anybody to nominate for a long time. This is your first time. Probably true. I'll actually look into that to see if there were any other times he had an opportunity to nominate her. Or nominate someone. But now, the state of Connecticut, you guys are just nominating the first black woman? You kidding me? With all of these states in the union, after all the DEI and all that nonsense, you guys are just coming around to this? This is kind of sad. No? No? Is this the useful Negro approach? Is that what this is? I can't help but wonder. It sounds like it. I'd be insulted. Melanie, no, not you, not you. You shouldn't be insulted. No, please, take the gig. Take the gig. It's important that you take the gig. But other people should be insulted. Yes? Why not? You wait until now? The whole state? All this time? We couldn't get one sister girl on the Supreme Court? What's up? Oh. That's where we are. I guess so. Wild. Oh, that's the thing I got to do tomorrow. I'm not going to get to that today. When we come back in the next break, I do want to give another shout out to the Ferraro family. Hosting myself and Roseanne yesterday. I might as well do it now. So there will be some people who listen to the show and people who we consider friends that we've been out with that we'll probably break bread with them. We'll try to do as many as we can if you have us. I think it's an opportunity for me to sort of get to know those of you who dedicate so much time to the show. Some of you listen for as long as 4 hours. I kind of feel like, we're family. And the Ferraros were a great opportunity there. David Ferraro, who was here, who works for the Department of Transportation, was a guest on this show. We were talking about slowing down and obey the orange. And, he said his mom was a big fan of the show and wanted to have us over for dinner. So I felt absolutely, I felt obligated to, in the way in which she listens. So I brought my wife. We have dinner with her. And lo and behold, sadly enough, Mama Ferraro loved Roseanne more than me. She sent me so much as a note saying so. Roseanne's so easy to talk to. Goodness gracious. Former state rep Pam Sawyer is on the line. Did they say why they wanted to come on? I'm not familiar with Pam. Is Pam Sawyer a black woman? Good. I want to know. Tell Pam to hold on. We'll get to her in the next break. I promise. And I'll find out why. Because, again, I'm still trying. It says Melanie Cradle nominated as the first black woman to the Connecticut Supreme Court. So I guess former rep Pam Sawyer has something to say about that. We'll get her take on this in a little bit. And I'm glad she's calling. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's back. He's at the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 84 eastbound, you got some slow traffic now. About a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tight now in East Hartford as you approach the Bulkley Bridge, and it runs slow out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 91 southbound delays 33 to 32. Another minor slowdown down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. If you are traveling into Middletown, 9 southbound delays Cromwell Middletown line to the Aragoni Bridge. Also 9 southbound slowing in Berlin from 32 down to exit 31 in Berlin. Heading toward Waterbury, 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18. Again, some slow traffic approaching 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. And westbound 84, you've got slow traffic by the 691 interchange. And again, as you approach the Mixmaster in Waterbury. South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the rest of this afternoon, it will be less humid out there with some sunshine. We'll be heading up to a high of 75 degrees. Then a few clouds out there tonight, turning cooler as well as we head down to a low of 53. For tomorrow, partly sunny, another nice day, high up to 78 degrees. Then a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow night, low 55. As we head into our Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds. There will be a couple of showers in the afternoon. The high Wednesday, 79. Then we do have a cold front moving in for Thursday. It's going to be breezy out there, a little more humid as well with clouds and a few breaks of sunshine. We will have to watch for a heavy afternoon and evening thunderstorm. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. Our high on Thursday up to 80. Then for Friday, some sun, turning less humid out there in the wake of the cold front. The high on Friday, 81. For Saturday, partly sunny with a high again of 81. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 5:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The State Board of Regents for Higher Education has selected a firm to conduct a review in the aftermath of the resignation of the interim CSCU chancellor. John Maduco stepped down earlier this spring amid sexual harassment allegations. Grand River Solutions will now handle that review. A preliminary report is due by the end of the month. Measles has turned up in Connecticut. Department of Public Health says it's the first case that has been logged in our state this year. Patient, an adult from Hartford County, currently in the hospital in stable condition. DPH says there have been over 2,000 cases nationwide thus far this year, and at this rate, the number could surpass the number from last year. U.S. and Iran have reached an initial agreement to extend their ceasefire. It could lead to the full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Still some hurdles that have to be cleared remaining to end the war, which would include whether Israel would continue its offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon. State police investigating what they called a suspicious incident in the town of Burlington today. CSP and local fire were at a home on Stanwich Lane. Channel 3 reports 3 bodies were found in that residence. No other details have been released. California Governor Gavin Newsom says President Trump has ordered the Justice Department to investigate him and his wife. Nature of the alleged investigations unclear, although Newsom said in a video posted to X that federal agents in recent days have knocked on the doors of his friends and fellow employees, and the thinking is may have something to do with his wife's taxes. And police are searching for 2 suspects who were armed when they robbed a Brooklyn, Connecticut mini-mart on Congress Avenue in Waterbury, or the Brooklyn mini-mart, I should say, in Waterbury. This took place on Saturday night in the Brass City. They got away with about $1,500 cash and a couple of cartons of cigarettes. On Wall Street, the Dow finished up 468 points today. The NASDAQ gained 795, and the S&P was up 122. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Maybe you're sitting there and saying to yourself, man, I can't raise my arms. I can't climb stairs. I can't kneel down. Brian Shackman here, and I'm here to celebrate what you can do. And that's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. They're not bracing for the next jolt of pain because it's gone. They've moved on back to living their lives the way they want to. Now, I've talked a lot about the team at QC Kinetics, and so many of you have been through their game-changing regenerative treatments done right in the office. You don't miss work. There's no surgery, no long recovery. The inflammation calms right down, the pain backs right off. I had my free consultation. I'm preparing to go in and get the work done on my ankle and my shoulder, and I'm probably going to do it in July, and I'm very excited about it. We love hearing from you and your stories, not just mine. We here at WTIC helped a lot of people dig out from under that long list of can'ts and get back to living their best lives. So find out what you can do. Call QC Kinetics right now. That consultation's free. They're in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury. That number, 860-440-PAIN, 860-440-PAIN. Again, QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. Real quick, let me take this phone call from former state rep Pam Sawyer, who kindly called in. I'm assuming listens to the show regularly. Is that correct, Representative?
Yes, I do.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your support. So you said something I grasped onto that, again, is very interesting. So the reason why Melanie Cradle is nominated as the first black woman to the Connecticut Supreme Court is not because they were seeking someone who was African-American. It was because she applied. Care to explain?
Could be both.
Okay.
But it's a very complicated application process.
Okay.
And very intensive. It covers judicial experiences that lawyers have had. It covers their financials, their character. It's very intensive, and it goes. They have to apply themselves,
right,
and go before the Judicial Selection Commission. And there are 12 commissioners that are selected that are a balance party-wise, I think, pretty well.
Okay.
R's and D's and U's that go through and comb these applications and then interview the candidates. But one of the things that I found most interesting is it's hard to create this pool of qualified candidates to put before the governor, and then they have to go in front of the Judicial Commission, the Judiciary Commission in the legislature for their full approval. Now, it means that who's ever applying has made a very serious, thoughtful decision, probably to give up a very lucrative law practice.
Right. So, in essence, the reason why there aren't a lot of candidates is because, as you told me during the break, is that financially, fiscally, for whatever reason, this could be a step down.
Financially, absolutely. Now, it's lovely to have a state position. It's great to get the state benefits. But if they're coming from a very successful law practice, they don't think twice about it. Why would I take this position?
Ooh. But that, you know what? It proves something else, which I'm actually going to get into in the next break. Because it's a very important distinction to have. because you're under the impression, they give the impression that the governor is going out to seek somebody, but the problem is that the pool may be limited.
The pool may be limited for the checkoff list that he's looking for.
Right.
Now, you also will have a few that are pulling some asks from the Republican House, from the Democratic House, from the Republican Senate, the Democratic Senate, and they will try and put forward someone who perhaps is been involved politically.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you know what? Hold on.
It takes a certain temperament to become a judge.
We're on the phone with former state rep Pam Sawyer. Stand by for a second. Let me get to weather and traffic. I'm going to come back and I want to sort of probe your mind on this one a little bit more. And you can tell me some details on it. Stand by. Mark Christopher's back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading toward Hartford right now, overall, we're in pretty good shape. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tight east Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're traveling 9 southbound, you've got delays now from exit 27 in Cromwell down to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Traveling on the northbound side of the parkway, got some slow traffic moving up by exit 62 in Meriden through that construction area by Miller Avenue. If you're 84 eastbound in the Waterbury area, a little slow 17 to 18, again 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 slows getting by the 691 interchange in Cheshire. And if you're heading 95 south New Haven, you've got delays from 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Nice and comfortable for the rest of this afternoon with a good deal of sunshine. We'll have highs ranging from 75 to 78 degrees and turning out partly cloudy and cooler tonight. We'll head down to a low of 53, partly sunny and nice out there for tomorrow, high up to 78. Just a few clouds around tomorrow night, low 55. For our Wednesday, we are going to see a mix of sun and clouds. There will be a couple of showers around in the afternoon. The high Wednesday, 79. We do have a better chance for precipitation on Thursday. We do have a cold front moving in. It's going to be breezy and humid on Thursday with clouds and some sunny breaks, a heavy afternoon and evening thunderstorm. Some of those storms can bring flash flooding and damaging winds. The high Thursday up to 80, then turning out less humid on Friday with some sunshine. The high of 81. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune into the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
The Travelers Championship. This is where greatness locks in. See the world's best. Defending champ Keegan Bradley, Scotty Scheffler, and more. June 24th through 28th at TPC River Highlands. Tickets at TravelersChampionship.com. Now is the time. This is the place.
Brian Shackman here for Brian and Company on WTIC News Talk 1080. Hope you are having an awesome start to your week. The weather's been really nice. Listen, Tuesday's show is going to be really fun. Austin Florian, the Olympian from Connecticut, he'll join us. J.R. Rusgrove, the great restaurateur from Bristol, will join us as well. And Eric Semmel, Tech Tuesday. You can't get better than that. 5:30 to 9. Plus, we have all your news, weather, and traffic. Everything you need, honestly, sincerely, to start your day off right, including, hopefully, a couple of laughs to boot. It's Brian and Company right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Whittlesey Accounting Advisory Technology wants you to think about golf. Travelers Championship opening day is in just 7 days.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code TUNEIN5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code TUNEIN5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code TUNEIN5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm actually trying to set this up because Pam Sawyer called up last minute, and I wanted to make sure that I showed her some love on the screen here, but I completely screwed it up and didn't do it. There it is. I fixed it, but it's still not good. Anyway, she's on the line with us now. A obvious avid supporter of the Reese on the Radio program, former state representative Pam Sawyer's on the line. So, Pam, have you been listening to this show literally, like, how long have you been a supporter of the show?
Well, since you were a fill-in.
Really? And you never called in?
No.
Okay.
You don't need a blah, 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 another politician.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And, congratulations. Because we never spoke, but I know you had a stellar 22-year career.
Oh, dear. You looked it up.
I do my research. I have to. But I just want to say, thank you for, of course, your dedicated service to the state. And just calling me up again, I feel honored. But you were telling me about this whole process of nominating a Supreme Court justice here, even in Connecticut, and how the person who's in essence being chosen comes from a pool of people who wish to apply. And the reason why this pool, if I'm getting this right, is so limited in many cases is because law practices, people tend to make a considerable amount of money, do very well. And being a Supreme Court justice in Connecticut is kind of a step backwards, especially when we're dealing with things like affordability or people who have futures. You may have a kid in college, you may have a couple of kids in college. Although it's great to have the prestige of being in the Supreme Court, it's not probably the most fiscally responsible thing that you can do. Is that what you're pretty much trying to lay out?
Well, it depends on the person. If they are solo, if they are the big breadwinner in the family.
Yeah.
But if they have the ability to do it because they have a second person in the home, Connecticut's so expensive as it is. But also the Supreme Court, to be a Supreme, means an awful lot of sitting and reading court cases.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds glamorous, right? No. I'm going to say no. I know quite a few of them, and they've come across my life. I've been very and have studied their careers as well. Mm-hmm. Some of them were legislators originally, but they're wonderful people like Ellen Peters, who became the head of the Supremes, coming out of a brilliant law teaching career. Mm-hmm. And so a mix of talent makes a great court, but it also means people have to decide that that's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And it's not in everybody's wheelhouse.
Right.
So some people like to litigate.
So
some people like to be on the outside, and they don't want to be a judge. So it takes a special personality.
Is there a likelihood that the reason why there has not been, I guess it's kind of what you're saying here, and it would totally make sense to me, that part of the reason you don't become a Supreme Court justice, even in this case as a black woman, is because it isn't beneficial. It's like, yeah, it's a title, but it comes at a cost. Fair?
Fair. Very fair.
Okay.
And if you are a very clever, smart, or I'm going to say in many cases a brilliant lawyer, you're sought after by some of these incredible law firms, you're going to have a different type of career, and would you give that up? So there's a smaller pool of people who want to make this decision to jump in with both feet financially as well as for their career, for the title.
So let's put it this way, at the sake of kind of poo-pooing on this whole announcement in the news media, you don't have to co-sign this, Representative. Don't co-sign me if you think that this is a third rail. And I totally appreciate it. If you don't, I will not hold you by the fire or your feet to the fire and say, you got to answer me. But I'm just looking at this as a black man. I have to. There's a part of me that's saying that we shouldn't have to focus on the fact that she is a black woman. We should be focusing on the fact that not many people want this gig. And when they do, it should be treated with honor and respect, because in most cases, people are taking a drop in pay. It is less prestigious. I mean, the prestige is in the moniker, I'm a Supreme Court judge, but that's about it, right? It is, in essence, a noble case, not really one that, and the pool is so thin, it's like whoever we got, we should be celebrating the fact that someone actually wanted to do it.
And she's probably an extremely exceptional individual for many reasons.
Fair. But I wouldn't have ever guessed. Well, maybe I would have, because a private practice, hell, you could, you probably bill for hundreds of dollars an hour. And if you work for a great law firm, there are so many perks that go with that.
You bill by the 10 minutes.
You bill by the 10 minutes, right. So what should I'll ask you this, instead of putting your feet to the fire or putting you on a third rail, what should we take from this nomination, excluding the fact that she's an African-American woman? What should we be taking from this as far as giving her reasonable or decent accolades? Take the race, because I think race should play no factor. What should we be celebrating about Melanie Cradle's nomination?
She must have an incredible background.
Okay.
That she has built herself, whether it's a she or a he or a they.
Right.
To get this far in the process and be chosen. It's impressive.
Okay. Right.
But she's made many, many hard decisions.
Right.
To apply to decide that she's going to do this. And it is honorable, and it is extremely noble. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, the nobility part is, and it's funny because one of my listeners, Joey V, just said that. He said, gee, whatever happened to public service for the honor? I guess in this case, we can say that she has, because she chose this over money. Even putting in the application is a sense of, I'm doing this because I want to serve my country, or in this case, my state. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I thank you for clearing it up for me so that we can celebrate. Because, again, I see these headlines and I go, okay, she's nominated as the first black woman. It's 2026. What did it take? What took so long? You answering my question gives me clarity. It wasn't about whether or not someone was looking for a black woman. It was like we had to get someone to freaking apply for that to be the case.
And remember, too, that we're not talking about a court that has 500 judges on it.
Right.
We're talking about a court of 9.
Yeah.
And there has to be a vacancy.
That's
correct. You narrow down this whole carefully designed set of dominoes, and you get to this point, and you say thank you to her.
Okay. I think it's fair then. Good. So, again, I can poo-poo on the whole first black woman and just say, Melanie, congratulations, and thank you for your noble service.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. News media did me in again. Representative Pam, former Representative Pam, so I'm still going to call you Rep Sawyer. Representative, thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting the show and for giving me a cold call, which I will take any day of the week, okay?
Thank you, Fun. I appreciate it so much. And say hi to Joey Burgoyne.
I will. I definitely will. Have a good one, okay?
Ciao.
All right, bye-bye. Let's go to Pete in Northford, who's on the line before we get out of here. Hello, Pete.
Hey, Reese, real quick on this pending Iran peace deal that's coming up.
Yeah, what do you got?
You remember back in April when Trump said entire civilization is going to end tonight. Remember that statement?
I remember him saying that he was going to bomb the hell out of them, yes.
Right, and an entire civilization was going to end. And the first thing that occurred was the Democrats here in the state, head by Murphy and the rest of the clowns, coming out and calling him, well, if he does that, then he's going to be a war criminal.
That's correct.
Okay? So now if you're Iran and you're sitting back and you're saying, well, look at this. We have the Democrat Party and the mainstream media in the United States on our side.
Yes, yes.
So where's the incentive for us, okay, to say or to capitulate to anything that the President of the United States wants? We're going to wait them out. So for those people who are, questioning why this war is taking so long, you have no place else to look than the Democrat Party, okay, and your mainstream media, who have been on the sidelines rooting against this president to fail. Okay, they want him to fail, and they want the Iranians to win. And now you have clowns again like Murphy coming out and questioning this peace deal, which no one really knows the details about.
Correct.
But comparing it to the JCPOA, okay, which is just a crock, because no one knows what the details here are of this. So here we are, and once again, there are going to be studies done and books written, okay, about this period of time of Donald Trump, and people are going to start questioning, how can people who are constantly lied to day in, day out for 10 years about a single individual believe anything that the opposition tells them? How can you still believe what the media tells you? How can you still believe what clowns like Chris Murphy tells you? How can you believe any of this stuff? Right? There's going to be volumes of psychological studies done in this period of time.
I laugh because that's the part that bothers me the most. Can I just, before I get out of here, because I probably got less than 2 minutes, I want to refresh your memory about something I've talked about often here. And it was a CBS 60 Minutes piece that was talking to one of the black ops operators that was interrogating Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, KSM. Remember him?
Absolutely.
The architect of 9/11. No, the architect of 9/11. Yep. They got him in some hole. But the black ops operator was talking to Leslie Stahl, or one of those guys over at 60 Minutes, and was talking about the waterboarding or the torture that they were putting him through so they could get information that would lead to Osama bin Laden. And the guy tells the 60 Minutes reporter, your liberal government, your liberal media will hate you for what you are doing to me. That's what Khalid Sheikh Mohammed said to them.
Yep. Absolutely.
And a guy who had been hiding out in a foxhole, a man who was hiding out in a cave, knew more about liberal United States and how they would turn on the people who are risking their lives to go after the person who is responsible for the worst terrorist act in the country. And he knew that those people would betray them. He told them, they are going to turn on you for what you did to me. And the black ops guy is going, wait a minute, you're Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. What do you mean they'll turn on me? And he said, when I got home and I heard the President of the United States talk about how that torture is not who we are and was condemning us for it, he was like, it was the weirdest thing I'd ever experienced in my entire life. But that's the point you're making, is that here's the guy in war trying to get these people to get off the idea of a nuclear weapon, and the people at home are undermining him, in essence, putting a battery on the back who are trying to kill us.
Yep, there you go, and that's it in a nutshell. Okay, the enemy knows us better than we know us.
Damn right.
And it's a shame and it's sad, but let's see what happens here. And real quick, Reese, I'm not sure if you're going to make it Wednesday to the tournament. You had talked about it, But if you do, I'm looking forward to meeting you there.
I promise you I will be there. I'm going to get up at 7 o'clock. It's literally about 30 minutes away from my home. I will be there by 8 a.m.
Great. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, man. You too. Have a good one.
Bye now.
You got it. That's our show. As I always say, radio is free, and we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you, and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here at 2 p.m. Thank you, Pam Sawyer, for calling up, and thank you for always supporting the program. All of you, you know I love you to the bottom of my heart. Or as I used to say to the kids, the bottom of my heart. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
Reese, have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford eastbound 84, just a little slowdown, 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84, a little slowdown coming out of the tunnel out to 47 Sigourney Street. Looks good both sides of 91. Cromwell up into Windsor Locks in the airport. 291 3.